KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hey there. How are you? It's the John Kobylt Show, and we're on from 3 to 6 after 6. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. That's the podcast. And we are live on YouTube. Subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. And we're up and running with the video already. And I come in pre-aggravated, pre-irritated, pre-annoyed.
And you called me on the phone and aggravated me. I'm just kidding. You didn't aggravate me.
I was looking for some
support.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a news person. I thought maybe you had some news.
I told you what I knew.
I'll talk about it after in a few minutes. But I got stuck in that fake bomb hoax that closed all the lanes on the 405 on the west side. A jackass calls it a bomb threat. Hey, that wasn't one of Karen Bass's deputy mayors, was it?
I don't think so.
Well, we don't know, though. But first, we're going to talk to Ben Chapman from the California Post, because there was an investigation on Skid Row today. It looks like Bill Housley's office. He's the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District, Department of Justice. The FBI, they went through Skid Row looking for information on the voter fraud that is apparent based on the massive surge for Nithya Raman from Skid Row in the days after the election. Let's talk to Ben Chapman from the California Post. How are you, Ben?
Hey, John, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
What was going on today on Skid Row?
Well, this morning at Skid Row around 11 o'clock, federal agents showed up talking to people on the street, asking them about just walking around with clipboards, talking to people on the street.
And did anybody notice what kind of responses they were getting from the locals?
You know, I wasn't going to interfere with the conversations as they were going down, right? Because it's an active criminal investigation, right? So what I did was, after the feds left, I went back and talked to the homeless folks that they were speaking with, and I wasn't able to get any useful information from any of these people. I got to tell you, you know, a lot of these folks are in pretty rough shape, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's I couldn't get anybody to give me a coherent response as to, you know, whether, you know, what they told the federal agents / what the federal agents asked them. So that was fruitless.
Could you get any sense as to whether they knew if they had voted?
No, I could not. No. Mm-mm.
Or whether they
had. I think that
they had been registered to vote, or they had were aware of a ballot. I guess nothing, huh?
No, I did not. You know, I have to tell you, I think it's going to be, you know, this is outside of the scope of the piece, you know, but I got to say, like, these folks are going to be difficult witnesses to work with, you know. They're pretty out of it. There's a lot of drugs that are being used all day long down there, right?
Yeah, well, that's why they're being used for this voter fraud operation, in my opinion. Of course you'd use these people. They're not going to provide any useful evidence.
Well, that's why they got the feds investigating it, right? They're the best in the business, and they'll get to the bottom of it. So hopefully they will. So, you know, they're on the case.
So how long were the agents there? How many agents were showed up?
You know, I reckon they were there for a few hours, and I understand from my sources that there were about 20 agents there. I personally saw a handful of agents. You know, there were 3 that I confirmed were federal agents, you know, by approaching them. And then there were some other folks who looked like federal agents that I didn't have a chance to confirm whether or not they were.
So they weren't giving away any clues.
No, the agents just referred me to the public relations department at the FBI.
All right.
So, you know, they're federal agents. The FBI agents never want to talk about what they're doing. You know?
But something
they got to protect their identities and all that.
All right, but something was going on. All right, Ben Chapman, thank you for coming on.
All right, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, Ben Chapman, FBI agents, Department of Justice, they were talking to the drugged out zombies there on Skid Row, and you can see why this will work wonderfully. Now, they can only investigate, they can only charge a crime if they could prove that these people got paid to vote or got paid to register to vote. If they simply registered without money exchanging hands, and then the criminal nonprofits used their ballots, filled out the ballots for the drug addicts, signed the ballots in some way for the drug addicts. All you have to do is put an X. Now that's illegal under this criminal corrupt system created by Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom. So it's pretty bulletproof. It's sealed tight. You know, the stuff that you think ought to be crimes are not crimes anymore. And the stuff that actually are crimes, like paying voters, well, if you give somebody whose brain has been fried by drugs, they're never going to be able to tell you the story. They don't remember. They'd never be a credible witness. You could never trust the information. This is all by design. It shows you how sick this crowd is. The people who run these vagrant nonprofits and Bass and Newsom, they're just awful people. They're willingly using the people who are in the most dire straits, many of whom are going to be dead in just a matter of months, to try to squeeze an extra fake vote out of them for the likes of Nithya Raman, who's a stark raving lunatic. So that's what was going on at Skid Row. Now, to my to coming in here pre-irritated and pre-aggravated. Of course, it would be like this day. All right, my wife and I going out somewhere, and she said, "Why don't you take an Uber to the station and I'll pick you up at the end of the show?" All right, twice a year we do this. So I got the Uber. I'm about a mile from the 405 on the west side. Get onto Sunset Boulevard. Everything's jammed. Now what? And you could kind of tell when it's not the normal traffic, but this is like something really stupid. Crawl to the 405, and I see that the 405 is closed in both directions. Nothing but empty lanes. I can also see, as we were driving over the overpass, that they were forcing cars off the 405 in both directions, and that police were guarding the entrance ramps, and they had flares out so nobody could get on. So everybody had to get off. Nobody could get on. Everything is spilling out onto the boulevards and onto the side streets. And boy, when this happens on the west side, everything goes to hell really fast because there aren't that many roads. There aren't that many north-south, and there's almost no east-west boulevards. I mean, north of Sunset, there's zero. And so everybody's boxed in, as the Palisades people had to experience during the fire. There's not a good way out when things go crazy. And that's when I called Deborah, because I have a private line.
Yes, you do.
To the newscaster.
Yes.
And it's a box. And I'm looking at the Channel 2 coverage, and there's a box on the road, and somebody said, "Oh, there's a bomb in the box." And there's a picture on the CBS 2 website. You could see that there's a police officer approaching the box, and it could be just a box of homeless garbage, or maybe somebody's living in the box. I don't know. But it was decided that was the threat, and so they had to close both sides of the freeway, all lanes, both directions. It's like, God, took like an hour and 10 minutes to get here.
It was awful. I wasn't on the street or the road, but I understand. I feel for you. And it's like, I'm thinking, I'm in the back seat of the Uber, and I'm going, wait, why am I even living here?
Like, why am I living here? This is so ridiculous.
I mean, you could move away and do the show remotely. I mean, I wouldn't want you to, but that is an option.
My wife suggests that.
I know, but then I'm not going to stay here. Then I'm going to leave too. I'm going to have to, yes, exactly, and do the show with you remotely.
You may think we're kidding here. We're not doing a bit. This is, if you're not living in L.A., you have no idea what it's like these days here. Everything we talk about, it really is nuts. My wife was just on the phone with one of her best friends who fled to Florida. And she's spending 6 months in Florida. And then just last night, my wife is scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or something. And she goes, oh, look at this. Another couple close friends of ours that we've known for 25 years. They're sitting in Florida at a restaurant, toasting. They just left Florida. They just left California, bought a new place in Florida, and they're celebrating their first night. So it's like everybody we know is fled, is gone. And I'm sitting here in the back of the Uber, and there's a box, and there's a fake bomb. And like I said, probably called in by one of Bass's deputy mayors. God, come to work. The FBI's on Skid Row interviewing incoherent, drug-addled homeless people to see which of them got $2 to vote. When we come back.
Are you going to come back?
I don't know. I think, you know what? At any moment, I just may disappear.
Okay, John, we got to wrap it up. I'm getting the evil eye from Eric. We have to go to news.
All right, we'll do the news. Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour news room.
Here is the latest. LA County DA Hochman has announced criminal charges against a comedian, and law enforcement agencies in LA continue to be on the lookout for any possible security threats during the World Cup. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 10 next.
Being hurt in an accident is like a punch in the gut if you never saw it coming. The attorneys at Sweet James know the agony, the disruption, and the devastation that people go through. Sweet James has spent 25 years fighting for injured accident victims, and they have the experience and the reputation and the care to help you make your comeback. They've helped thousands of people like you recover when an accident has changed their life.
In Norwalk, northbound from the 105 freeway towards the 10. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at crohnscolitisfoundation.org.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Hi, I'm Duncan Newman.
And I'm Maria Newman.
When you choose Newman, you get more than new windows. You get ultimate peace of mind with our 7-point promise. We give you an exact arrival time, Your home is protected from start to finish and so much more.
Right now, buy 2 Milgard vinyl windows and get 1 free. Plus, receive a bonus gift card with every Milgard product purchase.
And our lifetime installation guarantee. Ask about our fire recovery program. Call 877-7-NEWMAN or NewmanWindows.com.
Restrictions apply. License number 570472. Offer ends June 30th, 2026.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention Ram owners. Complete Recall 67A. Get $500 and a chance to win a getaway to Miami for 2 to see the final race of the season. Plus, meet Brendan Butterbean Queen. Learn more and schedule at CumminsRecall.com.
Hi, I'm Sherry Harris, owner of LifeSource Water. Did you know that cities across Southern California add chlorine and chloramines to your water? Every time you shower, you're breathing in those chemicals and your skin is soaking them in. They're not just harsh on hair and skin, they're terrible to drink. At LifeSource, we believe you deserve better. Our whole house water system filters every drop, so you can drink, cook, bathe, and live clean with healthy water from every tap. Say goodbye to the hassles of salt-based softeners. Enjoy fresh, filtered water for you and your family. And we're local. LifeSource is based in Pasadena, and we've been serving customers across Southern California for over 40 years. With LifeSource, you deal directly with the factory. We manufacture, install, and stand behind every system, and we always will. Now, during our summer sale, save up to $1,000. We're paying your sales tax. Call our factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. Offer ends soon.
Warranty limitations apply. My wife is going to Las Vegas with 3 of her friends that she grew up with. So my wife said, hey, I'll bring all the alcohol. Tell me what you need. One of the girls says, I really like Burnett vodka.
Tim Conway Jr.
And Bellio. I am not a newbie to drinking. Never heard
what is that?
of Burnett vodka. So I went to CVS, and the guy says, I don't really have never heard of that. It seems low end. And I thought to myself, God almighty.
Wow. Tomorrow night, 6 to 10 on KFI AM 640.
Even CVS employees are calling you out.
Yeah, they're looking down their nose.
Oh, my God.
More stimulating talk.
The biggest FIFA World Cup ever has started.
The most goals the United States have ever scored in a World Cup game.
The only place to hear the action for free is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live.
First career World Cup hat trick.
Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Just search World Cup.
Don't miss Team USA's next match Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern against Australia.
The world is listening. Are you? iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
Today at the World Cup, teams will start to play their second group stage matches. Canada coach Jesse March says his team is taking it one game at a time.
We know that given our group being so tight right now, that every moment and every point matters, and we're focused on that.
Canada faces Qatar tonight. Meanwhile, Mexico will look to build on its hot start, facing South Korea.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, Conway Show. I get bitten by mosquitoes all the time. And guess what?
Just a minute ago.
The natural
I know. He
solution
comes out at 6. I see him every
all
day.
The substances that go into it, you probably have at home. Today after 6, I will tell you how you can stop getting bitten and eaten by mosquitoes.
What, two of the same show? Is this the new KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app or live on YouTube? There was not only, the federal government is now governing Los Angeles to some extent because you had FBI agents going through Skid Row to talk to all the brain dead people about whether they voted or not for Nithya Raman. Also, there was a raid last night. I believe this is the third one at MacArthur Park. Bill Shelley was there, the first assistant U.S. attorney. So is Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 reporter. And Shelley said they're gonna be doing these anytime, anywhere. This is not a stunt. It's not for the World Cup. And here is a member of the DEA telling Seedorf about the drug dealers they arrested. Play cut 3.
From a DEA perspective, I know that some arrests were made tonight relating to narcotics use.
Yeah, so tonight in some of our operations, we were able to take approximately 6 sellers off the streets that were still dealing some narcotics out here in the area. But as you can see, if you look around, it's a very different vibe than what was out here maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, when we started this operation. So this is a continuation. We're going to keep it going. We told everybody that this was not going to be a one and done. This is not a photo op. This is not a free moment in the sun. We're here to make a change, and it's going to happen.
That's a DEA guy there. Now, this is what's key, because what makes me crazy is when they do a raid and then the next day everybody comes back. And that's the criticism. People, it's nice they're doing it, but you'll see they'll be back tomorrow. And they're right. And Shelley is actually coming back again and coming back again, and they're going to keep coming back. Now, the DEA, the feds can go after the drug dealers. And Shelley in this clip with Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11, explains the different policy between the dealers and the users. Cut 4.
So no law enforcement has gone after the gang members. They've gone after the dealers. And now they're essentially going after users. Is that
yeah,
right?
I don't know. I'd say going after. I mean, look, I think none of us want to put users in jail. We want them to get help. And so whatever tools, mechanisms we need to do to get people help, we're going to use those tools. As the federal government, we don't prosecute drug users. So that's why we're here with LAPD. And they're using all the tools in their belt to try to get the users help and get them out of the park. We want this park to be returned to the law-abiding citizens of Los Angeles. And I think what you see tonight is what the potential of this park has. And really, when you enforce the law and you work together as a community, we can make this a better place for the people of Los Angeles.
Now, LAPD is there to take care of the users. DEA is there to take care of the drug dealers. And again, this is the third round that they've come back. But you notice how many years this went on? And Karen Bass ignored it, lied to everybody in the neighborhood. How many times did she lie to the owner of Langer's Deli? Oh, yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. She never did anything. She didn't care. She let people die. The lake is still filled with bodies. The local idiot councilwoman, and she is an idiot, an extra large-sized idiot. She won't let the lake be dredged to collect all the dead bodies that are in there. MacArthur Park. Let's play cut 6 here, because Seedorf asked Bill Shelley and the DEA person about all the criticism that these are hit-and-run operations.
There are some people that feel like that this is just kind of smoke and mirrors. It's not really going to help. How do you respond to those people?
So it's not smoke and mirrors. You can come out here and you can see there's a difference. Change is happening, but it's slow. The systemic problem that was happening here was embedded, and it's going to take time to change that. But we're moving the needle. It's happening every time we come out here, and you can see by looking around, we're deep into the park today. We have the whole entire park, and soon it will become back to the community.
Yeah, I really want to thank the LAPD. I mean, we can't do this without them. They've really stepped up, and it's a huge compliments to them and working with us for the betterment of the community.
And these raids are going to continue.
This will keep going on until this park is back to the people.
So the Trump administration, with Bill Shelley as the point man, is cleaning up MacArthur Park after decades of it being this disgusting, dangerous, drug-ridden, gang-ridden cesspool. Decades. Garcetti did nothing. That bastard was mayor for 9.5 years. He did nothing. Bass, she's a potted plant. They're psychos. So finally, and 80% of Los Angeles hates Trump. Doesn't matter. He's cleaning the place up, despite the hatred. He's got a Shelley doing the work. The DA is doing the work. LAPD is doing the work there. The users are being taken care of. The drug pushers are being arrested. Finally, normal life. Just a little bit of normal life. All right, we come back. We're going to have Adam Housley on at 5 o'clock, independent journalist, and he's got some good stuff on the two grifters, those two psychos, Jennifer and Gavin. And he put out a series of tweets last night, and I want to read you some of them. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
LA County DA Hochman has announced criminal charges against comedian Carlos Mencia. It's the first case filed by the newly created Business Tax Fraud Unit. Hochman says Mencia did not report almost $9 million in unpaid taxes and was arrested this morning.
He is on the California Franchise Tax Board's list of the 500 greatest tax delinquents in both personal and corporate income categories.
The Business Tax Fraud Unit is being headed by Deputy DA Michelle Hennessy. Law enforcement agencies in LA continue to be on the lookout for any possible security threats during the World Cup. LAPD Chief McDonald told KFI's Gary and Shannon that they're dealing with about 100 threats a day.
Whether it's a bomb threat or somebody, talking about shooting up something or any other number of different things, cyber threats, those kind of things.
He says the LAPD team works closely with the Joint Terrorism Task Force to run down any threats. Gas prices across the country have fallen to less than $4 a gallon on average, but not in California. The average price per gallon here is $5.64, and the state's gas tax goes up again on July 1st. The average gas price in LA County is $5.65, it's $5.52 in Orange County, and $5.49 in the IE. Plans to remove a tree from an education center in Pasadena have been put on hold because of a bird nest. It's in a 50-foot tall coast live oak, which is among others affected by the Eaton fire in Altadena. The school district says a qualified wildlife biologist has been engaged to review the identified tree as well as others within the fire-affected contaminated soil area. The Obama Presidential Center has been opened in Chicago. Former President Obama says the highlights in the center don't include himself. They highlight the efforts of people trying to make their communities better.
If you come for a day and you don't have time to see everything, I would urge you to skip the clips of my speeches. You have heard them all before.
Officials say the center will be more than just a presidential library. It will serve as a place to bring the community together. We're going to head over to the 210 next.
When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, they're done. You may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, and so do the gaps, and so does the risk. So I'm telling you about SuperSure. This is for you if your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, the HR manager. The whole thing could be too complicated to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. SuperSure.com. You can access tools like the Fine Print Facts tool, which translates your current policy into plain English. So you see what's covered and what's not. Plus, a business value calculator. You can estimate what your business is worth, so you know exactly what needs protecting. SuperSure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. SuperSure.com, SuperSure.com.
Paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI. The patchy drizzle will be back tomorrow morning, then partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s to mid-70s. Metro LA. Mid-70s to around 80 in the valleys. Mid-70s to mid-80s and windy in the high desert and the IE again. Upper 60s for the beaches. Low to mid-70s inland OC. Right now, 73 in Laguna Woods and 75 in Rancho Santa Margarita. We have some stuff blocking lanes on the 210 in La Cañada.
Stuff is right, and apparently it's enough stuff to block off that right lane for about the next 30 minutes in La Cañada, 210 westbound just past Berkshire. And the drive is pretty messy getting out of Pasadena, loading up from Mountain. Eastbound delays on the 210 freeway, also backing up out of Pasadena from Mountain. But delays continue as you make your way all the way to Foothill Boulevard. Crowded ahead through Upland. That Cajon Pass is just loading up both directions at the 15, northbound from Kenwood to the 138, but the southbound side pushing back out of the high desert, leaving the 395 as you continue back towards Cleghorn. And let's look at at the drive-in Corona. This is the southbound side of the 15, leaving the 91 freeway all the way to Wyrick Road. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I'm hosting a barbecue tomorrow, and nothing's party ready. The grill's in the box, the patio's a mess, and I haven't even bought snacks. That's when I post on AirTasker. Local taskers handle the errands, setup, cooking, and more. Go to airtasker.com or download the app.
AirTasker. Get anything done.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet-recommended fresh dog food. Made right here in L.A.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Monica Tam, head of brand media for DoorDash, talks about audio's connection to daily rituals.
Audio plays a really important role. There's daily rituals that you do. In all of those moments, you're able to instill a message that lingers in their head when they do have to make that decision.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
Garden Grove chemical leak claims. Know your rights. Go to opolaw.com.
Termites active? Call Pacific Coast Termite. No tenting, plus 10% off. Call 1-800-PACIFIC.
Think back. All those times you questioned everything and wondered why you didn't trust yourself. What if those thoughts could be eliminated? Truth is, those thoughts come from a hidden part of your mind. At a Dianetics seminar, you'll learn and apply powerful techniques to address the hidden source of your stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. It's hands-on, and you'll put the tools to work immediately. In just one weekend, you'll discover exactly how the mind works and increase your happiness and restore trust in yourself. A single weekend can change everything. Register today and take charge of your mental health. Go to Dianetics.org/seminar. That's Dianetics.org/seminar.
KFI.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand. Moist line, 877-MOIST-86. We do it twice on Friday. Is tomorrow Friday?
Yes, it is.
All right, tomorrow's Friday. 877-MOIST-86. You use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app, and don't tell us you couldn't think of anything. We need your participation. 5 o'clock, Adam Housley's coming on. Adam has spent many years working for Fox. He's now an independent journalist, and he has been posting things on Twitter about the Newsom investigation. He had wind of this quite a while ago, and for all you people who believed Newsom's big lie that this investigation into he and his grifter wife is some kind of Trump retaliation, may surprise you, that is false. Newsom is lying. Housley said that this came, as we have heard this week, from the Sacramento Department of Justice office. He says they honed in on the First Lady of California, in 2022 because of a whistleblower. And he writes, that's when the wiretaps began. He put this all out on X. That's when the wiretaps began. So the evidence that they have on Jennifer Newsom is on tape, is her phone calls. Gavin too? Wow. In 2022 from a whistleblower. Then the chief of staff got folded into all of it. That would be Dana Williamson. Dana Williamson was charged with 23 counts for being part of a 3-person group that was stealing money from Javier Becerra's campaign. In fact, not only did Dana Williamson plead guilty, so did Becerra's chief of staff. The 2 chiefs of staff for Newsom and Becerra pleaded guilty, maybe going to prison. There were 2 investigations into her at one point and a separate one on the governor. So you've got 3 people getting investigated: Jennifer, Gavin, and Dana Williamson, the chief of staff. Whistleblower involved. Sacramento Department of Justice. Those are the facts, not Newsom's gas and lies. Here's what else what Housley wrote. Investigators find the weakest links and get them to flip. Multiple flips expected. Remember the 23 counts against Dana Williamson? She has pled that down to 3. The other 20 got settled in exchange for her cooperation. COVID fraud is potentially part of the case. COVID fraud. The campaign fund account being looted is part of the investigation, too. All this stems from a wiretap in 2022 of Jennifer, one major whistleblower. I'm being told it's about moving campaign money around into various business accounts, basically money laundering, filing false tax claims. He writes, the IRS agents in Sacramento are really good. One source says the investigation into Jennifer centered on her nonprofit companies and private expenditures. He says Newsom's public acknowledgement yesterday looks like an attempt to get ahead of the story, especially with his presidential ambitions. He's trying to frame this as a political attack rather than a legitimate inquiry. He's trying to frame it. In other words, he's trying to BS the public and the news media. Well, let's reframe this. Let's reorient this. How about if we use my narrative? Well, the narrative's I hate that word. It's a lie. Housley says that his sources are surprised that the Biden Department of Justice didn't simply bury these cases or shut them down. Instead, they appeared to have continued. Now the current DOJ has them. He also writes that, for what it's worth, the East Coast Democrats in the party hierarchy, are pretty much fed up with West Coast Democrats. People like Newsom, Kamala, because California is such a disaster. It's embarrassing for the whole party. Democrats are getting a large part of their crappy reputation from California. And the Democrats back east are sick of this. So it's fine if Newsom goes down the toilet. It'd be nice if he could take Kamala with her or with him, because they're giving the whole Democratic Party another layer of a reputation that is corrupted, incompetent, and stupid, really. Just flat out stupid. Now, Newsom, Gavin, and Jennifer were on the road today to Chicago, where Obama opened up that presidential center. Have you seen that building? That is an architectural atrocity. I can't even describe it. Just look it up online. Just look at that thing online. Who the hell thought of that? That looks like somebody's bad LSD nightmare. I don't know who that architect was. It's like, wow, that is a bad-looking building. Aggressively bad-looking by design. So anyway, Gavin and Jennifer went to the Obama Presidential Center. They had a big opening today, and is approached by an MSNBC reporter. So this was a sycophant. Although I have to admit, I couldn't tell if this reporter is male or female. But listen to Jennifer and Gavin.
We heard from the governor, but we haven't heard from you yet about this investigation. What do you want to say? I'm just so grateful for this inspiration and leadership. We need more of this.
Hey, this is stuff that happens in other countries. That's all I'll say. Happens in other countries. Who wants to go after me, go after me.
It's nice to see both of you. Madam First Lady, it's great to see you. Thank you, Governor. Thanks.
Madam First Lady. Had to get a couple of licks in before he left. Madam First Lady, he was asking about this corruption story. Play that again. Listen to her wacky, dippy response here. Play the clip again.
We heard from the governor, but we haven't heard from you yet about this investigation. What do you want to say?
I'm just so grateful for this inspiration and leadership. We need more of this.
Hey,
wait a minute, stop. I'm just so grateful for this inspiration and leadership. What is she jacked up on? Who talks like that? Do you know anybody who goes wrong? I'm just so grateful for this leadership and inspiration. You were asked about all these charges of, tax evasion, money laundering, $4 million from your fake nonprofit for your crazed sex feminism films that you were feeding 11-year-olds. And then he says, this is what goes on in other countries. Yet we know leaders steal money in other countries. That's kind of, by the way, did you notice neither one of them said, we never did anything wrong? You notice that? No, neither one of them said we shouldn't be investigated. We're honest people. So we have a $9 million house on a $200,000 salary. And then another $4 million house on that $200,000 salary. So why do you think there's something shady going on? All right. When we come back, we're going to get into, oh my God, the LA City Council wants to put a thing on the ballot so we could vote whether illegal aliens should be allowed to vote. It's coming up next. Deborah Mark, live, KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A shelter-in-place order has been reissued in the Boyle Heights area. Lawyers for Luigi Mangione have told a court in New York that the lawyers will not be pursuing a psychiatric defense. We will have more at the top of the hour, going to the 10 next.
Summer is heating up, but your wallet doesn't have to. And for the month of June, American Vision Windows is offering no interest, no payments for 2 summers on new windows and doors. That's right. You pay nothing until 2028. New windows don't just help you beat the heat. They lock in comfort year-round. They lower your energy bills and give your home a stunning upgrade that your neighbors will notice. American Vision Windows is 100% employee-owned, which means every person on your project has a personal stake in getting it right. After 25 years and over 1 million windows installed, that accountability has made us the most trusted name in window replacement. Most jobs are done in just a day. Beautiful new windows by evening. 0 payments until 2028. The offer ends June 30th. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. AmericanVisionWindows.com. Call 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 10 in Baldwin Park.
So this one's on the eastbound side, just before the 605 freeway. 3-car wreck blocking the express lanes. Big delays on that 10 eastbound overall out of City Terrace from City Terrace Drive. Let's also take a look at that stuff that's blocking lanes in La Cañada, 210 westbound before just past Berkshire. The right lane has been taken out. Now that drive is slow moving out of Pasadena, getting away from just about Mountain. It's starting to get close to the 134. If you see what it is, it's blocking pound 250, keyword KFI traffic. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Fiji Airways.
A bill that would regulate college sports nationwide passed a U.S. Senate committee today, but faces an uncertain future on the floor. Dodgers two-way star Shohei Ohtani is battling blisters on his pitching hand. The issue surfaced during his worst start of the season on Wednesday. Chargers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel says he's tweaking Justin Herbert's footwork to help the quarterback find a higher level. I'm Frank Aaron.
Isn't it time you booked that tropical getaway you've been dreaming of with Fiji Airways? Fly direct from LA or San Francisco to Fiji. Start your dream vacation on your way to the beautiful islands of Fiji. For details, visit FijiAirways.com or head to your local travel agent. Conditions apply. This report is sponsored by Recreation Alliance.
Discover everything great about California in Malibu. From stunning beaches and restaurants to exquisite wineries, unique shopping, hiking, and horseback riding. There's fun for everyone. PCH is open. Take the 101 to Canaan Road and find your paradise waiting.
Sponsored by Recreation Alliance.
Friends and family are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help. In those moments, life can feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Or like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations. Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you could support the veteran in your life at maketheconnection.net.
The great part about being a dad is the ability to fall asleep in my chaise lounge in Oasis. And now the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Flamingo Fridays at Oasis Pool. The hottest beats, live DJ, and the coolest drinks in SoCal. If you know, you know.
Number 4.
Soccer watch party at Sideline. Saturday the 20th. Big screens, lots of food, Adidas giveaway, and Av Alta players. Go!
3.
Poolside playback. Catch tribute band Classic Journey the 25th. Free for Morongo Rewards members.
And the number 2.
A free bucket cap for dad. Pick it up with your rewards card starting at 8 a.m. the 21st. Then head over to Father's Day Bingo to win a share of over 25 grand.
And the number 1 reason.
Win dad a Corvette Stingray in our Star Stripes and Sizzle giveaway. Be there the 28th for 3 chances to win.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone, because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Have you tried Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro but still feel stuck? Many patients lose some weight on injections only to plateau while still struggling with obesity, sleep apnea, reflux, diabetes, or joint pain. Plus, monthly medication costs can add up. And many people regain weight after stopping treatment. West Medical's bariatric surgery might just provide the long-term solution you've been looking for. Schedule your free consultation at 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, Foodie Friday with Neil, and at 8:30 it is Ask Handel Anything, and this is all about you asking me. Without you, it doesn't work. That's coming up tomorrow morning on the next Bill Handel Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show, where you can follow us on social media at John Kobylt Radio. We're live on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@JohnKobylt Show, youtube.com/@JohnKobylt Show. I know our picture was blurry a while ago. I think that's been straightened out. It may have been me that was blurry. I don't know. But everything looks clear now. We are going to have Susan Shelley on right after Deborah's news. Listen to this as we slide down the road to full-on communism. You know, they need more voters to vote communist. And the absolute bozos on the LA City Council have a proposal to put on the ballot a proposal to allow illegal aliens to vote here in LA City. Illegal aliens get to vote. And it's pushed by one of the communists, Hugo Soto Martinez, and it got approved 10-5. 10-5. You had 2/3 of the city council say, yeah, illegal aliens should vote. And listen to this garbage coming out of Soto Martinez's mouth. I think it was his mouth. I believe it's a simple principle that should guide us. If you live in the city, contribute to the city, raise your family in the city, and are impacted by the decisions made in the city, you deserve to have a voice in the city. No. If you live in the city and you're an illegal alien, you shouldn't be in the city, Hugo. No. They cost the city far more than they contribute. They cost the state far more than they contribute. It's proven. It's a fact. It's easy to check. Contribute to the city. Please. They're a massive financial drain, illegal aliens, and their families. That's the truth. If you're gonna debate this, at least tell the truth. Raise your family in the city. Again, nobody asked them to come. We can't afford to raise everybody's family around the world in the city. In fact, there's a tremendous number of illegal alien children in the schools who can't speak English. It's nearly impossible if you're an English-speaking child to learn anything if you're in a class of Spanish-speaking kids or any other language. It's impossible. That is one of the big reasons why enrollment in the LA school district is at a record low. Because simply, I wouldn't have my kid in a classroom where most of the kids aren't speaking English. The hell's the point of that? So it used to be about 750,000 kids in the LA school district. Now it's down to about less than 400,000. So the schools have been screwed over. Why do you think the city's broke? The city's broke. We're even paying for their lawyers to fight deportations. So no, you don't deserve to have a voice in the city. You don't deserve to have a vote in the city. And what is wrong in the heads of the 10 council people who approved this thing? Right now, I thought the illegal aliens were already voting through ballot harvesting. That wasn't enough, right? Well, you know how many illegal aliens we have in the city? 500,000. You go look it up. In the county, a total of 1 million. 500,000. That's 500,000 potential votes. I assume the kids are going to be ballot harvested to vote too. Why not? I mean, you got dead people voting. You got zombie drug addicts voting. Why not have the illegal alien children? So give them all votes. Well, then you'll have total chaos, a complete destruction of our civilization with all the nutty communist proposals coming from Hugo Soto Martinez and the rest of those idiots, the overfed Eunices Hernandez, and there's a couple of other. Oh, Nithya Raman. She's one of the communists too. So you're going to have a communist mayor. You got a communist here in the city council saying, hey, why don't we stuff the ballot box with another 500,000 votes? So that's the final nail in the coffin. That is the complete death of Los Angeles. What is wrong with the rest of the city council members? I'm going to play you a couple of clips next half hour of the debate. No, non-citizens. They're non-citizens. That means they have no right to vote. They have no right to be here unless they got a green card. They don't have a green card or some other form of temporary admission. No, they shouldn't be here physically. They certainly shouldn't vote. The illegal aliens shouldn't vote at all. This is not a debate. Why can't they vote? Because they're not legal citizens. That's why. That's why. We really don't have to go any farther. Unbelievable. All right. Susan Shelley from Southern California News Group. She has a column, and she's also with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. She's got another angle on this because she says the county is going to have to print and mail separate city-only ballots for the illegal aliens. And this is going to create a huge database. We'll talk to Susan. We'll play you some clips from communist Soto Martinez and others. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Take two. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Another shelter-in-place order has been issued in Boyle Heights as fire crews ventilate the cold storage warehouse. Crews are still working to completely douse that fire that started yesterday afternoon. Chief Jamie Moore says the roof was the main problem yesterday, as well as an ammonia leak.
A pressurized ammonia line that burst. And if you've seen some of the footage from this fire, we had pressurized ammonia coming out the doors.
Residents in the area west of Lorena Street are being advised they may see smoke as a result of the ventilation work. The news is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Housley says the latest narcotics raid in MacArthur Park should send a clear message that drug dealers are not welcome in L.A. communities. 6 people were arrested last night during the operation. Housley says the people of L.A. deserve safe parks, safe streets, and safe neighborhoods. California voters will decide this November how much faster the state should approve housing and other major projects.
The Building an Affordable California Act has qualified for the November ballot. Supporters say California's approval process is too slow and blocks badly needed housing. Critics warn it could weaken protections for wildlife and farmland and say permitting is only one piece of the state's housing crisis. Brigitte D'Agostino, KFI News.
Lawyers for Luigi Mangione have told a court in New York their client will not be pursuing a psychiatric defense. That comes just one day after they told the judge Mangione would. Mangione is charged with killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in 2024. A cleanup is underway in parts of the Gulf Coast following Tropical Storm Arthur. Meteorologist Leslie Lopez says flash flood emergencies have been popping up from Louisiana to Mississippi.
Post-Tropical Storm Arthur is moving out into areas of Mississippi, Alabama, getting into areas of, it looks like, Georgia as well. And with that, it's leaving behind flood watches.
What's left of the storm has moved inland, but areas of Texas and Louisiana have seen floods, downed trees, damaged buildings, and power outages. President Trump is defending the memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran, but lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are questioning the terms of the deal. ABC's Selena Wang says the U.S. has agreed to release billions of dollars in frozen assets and lift sanctions on Iran.
And then, of course, on the nuclear issue, which is the core of why this conflict began, it says that Iran reaffirms it will not, quote, procure or develop nuclear weapons.
She says that was the pledge made in the very first paragraph of the Obama nuclear deal. And Waymo is recalling nearly 4,000 robo-taxis after temporarily restricting them from driving on highways.
It follows at least 13 instances of Waymo robo-taxis driving into highway sections that were closed for construction. 7 of them happened in San Francisco in May. 6 happened in Phoenix in April. Filings with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration say a fix for the problem is currently under development. In the meantime, Waymo is still operating on surface streets. Daniel Martindale, KFI News.
Southland weather from KFI. Patchy drizzle again in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s to mid 70s. Metro LA. Mid-70s to around 80 in the valleys, mid-70s to mid-80s and windy in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s at the beaches, low to mid-70s inland OC. Right now, 74 in Tustin, 65 Laguna Beach, 73 in Chatsworth, and it's 76 in Van Nuys. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by Supersure, supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 72, S&P 500 up 80, and NASDAQ up 496. Stall on the 134 Toluca Lake.
This is on the westbound side, and it is just past Vineland. That's where the 2 left lanes are blocked. Now, the drive is very slow. You're backing up all the way from almost Forest Lawn, so it's pretty tough there. That eastbound side of the 134 slowing down as well, getting out of Burbank with delays from Bob Hope as you travel all the way into Glendale, opening up at Glendale Avenue. Now, it's also a tough drive in La Cañada. This earlier stuff in the roadway, whatever it is, mystery stuff, 210 westbound past Berkshire. Right lane blocked. Delays are backing up from the 134. And the eastbound side of the 210 slows for Mountain. Delays and stretches all the way to Foothill Boulevard. Let's take a look at the drive in Ontario. Both sides of the 15 freeway pretty crowded between the 60 and the 10. South 15 loads up in Corona from the 91 to Wyrick Road, and that northbound side staying slow from the 60 and stretches to the 138. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Silver is no longer just a commodity, it's a strategic resource. Demand is up, supply is tight. Experts accept prices to soar. Visit LearCapital.com for your free silver report. LearCapital.com, LearCapital.com.
Seriously, my dealership just fixed the transmission.
We all know how it can be to go to the wrong place for transmission repair. Made up of over 800 pieces, the transmission is the most complex part of your car. So bring it to the transmission experts at AMCO. AMCO, always the right fix. AA MCO. Special financing available. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for complete details.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
Mornings at my house are impossible. 2 kids can't find their shoes and the sink starts leaking. So I post my tasks on AirTasker. Soon, the sink's fixed and a tasker installs a robot litter box my cat hates. Go to airtasker.com or download the app.
AirTasker. Get anything done?
After an accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? Wilshire Law Firm brings clarity when things feel uncertain. While you focus on healing, we fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. Call now. 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
For a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going home.
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. We're live on YouTube. Subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. And as we go into the second hour, next in an hour at 5 o'clock, we're going to have Adam Housley on. He's an independent journalist now. He's putting out a lot on social media. And the last few days, there's been quite a bit about the Gavin and Jennifer scandal. He's got a lot of information. And yes, this investigation goes back to the Biden administration in 2022. And it involves a whistleblower here in Sacramento. It does center on her taxes, on moving money around in various accounts, money laundering, stuff coming out of her nonprofits. She was doing a lot of crooked stuff, it looks like. And you have Dana Williamson, the chief of staff. She was charged with 23 crimes, and she pled down to 3 felony guilty pleas. So the other 20 were erased in exchange for, looks like, cooperation. And she flipped. So she's talking. She was Newsom's chief of staff. All this with, there's another theory that somebody said to me. It's like, well, maybe the Bidens wanted Newsom out because Newsom could have run in the primary in 2024 and given Biden a hard time. So maybe they wanted to do an investigation and take care of him. Could be. I don't know. Sounds good. Let's go to Susan Shelley now from, she's a columnist at Southern California News Group, and she's with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. And she wrote something online today just about this insane, ridiculous idea. The LA City Council is going to put on the ballot a chance for us to vote as to whether illegal aliens could vote. And, that's going to bring all kinds of mayhem to the city. Susan, how are you?
I'm good, John. Thanks for having me.
I don't know where to start with this one. Well, you wrote about how you'd end up with 2 separate ballots, one for LA County residents and then a separate one for LA City residents. Or I guess if in the right, because it would just be the illegal aliens in LA City that would get to vote.
There would be a separate ballot if an illegal alien in the city of Los Angeles was next door to a legal citizen. They would each get different ballots with different races on it. The citizen would get all the county races, the congressional races, all the things you see on your ballot. But the illegal alien ballot could only have the city races, mayor, city council, school board, and nothing else. That's the proposal, is that that's all they would be allowed to vote on. So the county would have to have a list of who was an illegal alien registered voter in order to send out the correct ballot. And so all the campaigns could send the mail to the correct addresses. It's the whole thing is crazy. You know, in San Francisco, they have a contested policy similar to this, and they're currently letting certain non-citizens of San Francisco vote in school board elections. They have a big warning on the website that says the information could be obtained by ICE. What is Los Angeles doing?
Well, yeah, if you have these databases floating around, the campaigns are going to use them, like you said. The city is going to use them. So what's going to stop ICE from getting a hold of that list?
Nothing. They can, researchers can get the voter list. Journalists can get the voter list. Candidates and other campaigns can get the voter list. That's what it's for.
It's public information, right? They can't keep that a secret.
Exactly. You can have certain people can have their address redacted if you have a security issue, but you certainly can't have your whole registration redacted. That defeats the purpose.
I mean, I don't understand. It's like the illegal aliens probably were voting to a certain extent anyway with the ballot harvesting, and we got the drug addicts and we got the dead people. It's like why do they need even more fake votes? Don't they have enough here? They're winning everything.
I don't understand what they're thinking. I mean, no matter how you look at it, if you look at it from the point of view that you want to help people who are here illegally or that you want to deport people who are here illegally, it just doesn't make any sense that they would want to have a voter list of people who are here illegally. That's just crazy.
I hadn't even thought of that. Look, now this is a part of a set of recommendations. They're going to change the city charter, and we get to vote on that in the city of LA in November. Certain ways that the city is run. Are they going to bury this along with 8 other ideas so that nobody can figure out what they're voting on and nobody's going to notice that they're giving the right to vote to illegal aliens? Or is it going to be a separate vote on just that question?
Well, that's a very good question, because the city council is doing the changes, I believe, motion by motion, each of the changes. But once they go to the city attorney or whoever is writing the charter amendment that would be on the ballot, if it's all in one, then it very well could be buried. And if they could make it look very nice on the ballot and you'd have no idea what was in it.
The council is that
something to watch for.
I mean, I knew we had 4 DSA members, right? But there's another 6 people on the council that are so far left, so far progressive that they want this kind of chaos. This isn't fair to taxpayers.
No, it's not really fair to anybody. And we just saw Measure ER squeak through to a victory, and that's a tax increase, a sales tax increase. The purpose of it is to cover the cost of health care for people who can't get insurance. Well, guess who that is? That's the undocumented immigrant population in the county of Los Angeles that can't qualify for CalCare or any of the insurance.
Yeah, I know.
In the system.
God.
So that's what that was for.
Yeah, I know. It's like that costs us a lot of money in healthcare, costs us a lot of money in schooling. I mean, everybody carries on about how there's a housing shortage, affordable housing shortage in Los Angeles. Well, when you have an extra 500,000 people from other countries here illegally, that takes up a lot of units of housing.
It sure does. And it might be more than that, because according to some of the studies that were done related to the healthcare issue and how many people would be losing their insurance because of the One Big Beautiful Bill tightening down these requirements, there might be 1 million people in Los Angeles County who are undocumented, not people who were covered by the amnesty in the 1980s and later became citizens, not people who were born here, who are the children of people who came illegally, but people who themselves are undocumented. 1 million, that's 10% of the population of LA County. And if you multiply that by the household size and you cover the people who are citizens, the citizen children and others, it could be half the population of the city of Los Angeles is in a household that is affected by immigration enforcement. That could explain the politics of it.
So the people pushing this don't realize they're going to create a database that ICE could use?
It's right there on the San Francisco website. It's a big blue box. It says, warning, this info could be obtained by ICE. Important notice, it says. So if they don't know that in the LA City Council, they really should find out.
Do many illegal aliens bother to vote in San Francisco for these school elections?
I'm not sure how many they've done. I know there was a lawsuit about this. I think this proposal started as the same as the LA proposal, city elections and school board elections, and now it's just school board elections. And I think even that is being battled in the courts.
Yeah, it just seems like this should not be constitutional, that non-citizens...
I have it right here. It's not. Article 2, Section 2A, I looked it up, quote, a United States citizen 18 years of age and resident in this state may vote. That's the Constitution of California.
Wow. Citizen. Oh, all right. So it would violate the state constitution right there.
Right.
All
exactly.
Right. All right, Susan. Thank you for coming on with us.
Thanks so much, John.
Susan Shelley, Southern California News Group columnist and with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. We'll do more on this when we come back. We'll play a clip from communist Hugo Soto Martinez, who pushed this idea. Deborah Mark, live, KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. Shelter-in-place orders have been reissued for a part of Boyle Heights. LA Mayor Bass is saying that MacArthur Park is no place for drug use, violence, or organized crime. We will have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 210 next.
Byrna, they want to get you ready for summer. They have $100 off. That's the offer on their Byrna LE Gen 2. I'll explain what that is. Go to Byrna.com, B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Get yours while supplies last. Byrna.com. You might already own a gun. You pull that trigger, boy. Now you got to deal with all kinds of financial, legal, and emotional situations because you pulled the trigger. There's a smarter option. Byrna. FBI says less than 0.01% of all altercations require a lethal response. So you might have a safety plan that includes a gun, but that's necessary only well less than 1% of the time. With a Byrna launcher, no permits, no background checks, and it has powerful deterrents like tear gas and kinetic rounds, a 60-foot range, and one shot can incapacitate the bad guy for up to 40 minutes. Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A, offering $100 off the Byrna LE Gen 2. Byrna.com. Get yours while supplies last. Byrna.com.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Stall on the 210 in Monrovia.
So this one is along the eastbound side, and we are seeing that it's right at Mountain Avenue. The left lane is blocked. Delays are backing up all the way out of Pasadena, getting away from Lincoln. Now, let's take a look at that westbound side. That's where we have reports of the right lane blocked in La Cañada, just past Berkshire, with some type of debris in the roadway. Never heard what it was from the Highway Patrol, but it's been blocking the right lane. Overall, slowing now, loading up out of Monrovia, getting away from Huntington Drive. If you see what's in that right lane, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic. Let's take a quick check of the drive on the 15, both directions in Ontario. Looking busy between the 60 and the 10. That northbound side stays slow and stretches all the way to the 138. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by Capital One.
The NWSL is breaking news even while on a FIFA break. Legendary Australian striker Sam Kerr is set to sign with Gotham FC on a free transfer following the end of her contract with Chelsea. Kerr played with the club from 2015 to 2017, back when it was called Sky Blue. And despite years away, she still holds the NWSL's regular season goals record with 77. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. With the Venture X card from Capital One, you can enjoy easy-to-use premium benefits like a $300 annual Capital One travel credit when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus, you'll earn unlimited double miles on every purchase. The Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This report is sponsored by Albertsons and Vons. Outdoor entertaining begins with great deals at Vons or Albertsons. This week, pork baby back ribs are $3.99 a pound with membership or application. applicable. And untrimmed tri-tip roast is $4.99 per pound with membership where applicable. Limit 2 roasts. Shop in store or online today.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet-recommended fresh dog food. Made right here in LA.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Struggle with weight loss? OrderlyMeds.com/radio offers doctor-guided access to options like semaglutide and tirzepatide, often up to 50% less, delivered to your home. Visit OrderlyMeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary. Eligibility required. See site for details.
I am looking at this dish that I'm going to taste right now. It's sexy as hell. For one, it screams rustic, delicious. Yeah. The minute you see it, you say, not only is that beautiful, but I want that in my pie hole right now.
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra. Saturday afternoon at 2 on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Joy is essential and it's also elusive. But now there's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Joy 101. It's a new podcast hosted by me, Hoda Kotb. If you're craving inspiration to maximize your joy, tune into these candid, uplifting, and moving on-air chats. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Joy 101, and listen now. Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb is presented by CBS.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
Switzerland takes down Bosnia 4-1 to pick up their first win of the tournament.
Puts the exclamation mark on it for Switzerland. 4-1.
The match was scoreless at halftime before an onslaught of goals in the second half and stoppage time. Earlier in the day, Czechia and South Africa played to a 1-1 draw. South Africa converted a late second half penalty to earn a point.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. We're on everywhere from on all the time, 3 to 6. Monday through Friday after 6. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And Moist Line 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86. Tomorrow's the day, twice in the 5 o'clock hour. We will air all your anger and grievances. And we're live on YouTube. The picture just popped up. We're live on YouTube. Subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We just had Susan Shelley on, columnist for the Southern California News Group, LA Daily News, Orange County Register, and others. She's also with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. And Hugo Soto Martinez is this destructive idiot communist on the LA City Council, and he's pushing this idea and got the council to agree to it, to put on the ballot in November. The city can vote whether illegal aliens can vote. That, yes, seriously, even though it's unconstitutional, they're going to put it on the ballot anyway. And he's got this. Well, let me play the clip. Let's play cut 7, and you can see what this ding dong thinks.
This issue to me is really about fairness and representation. It just does not make sense to me that someone who moves to Los Angeles for a temporary job has more of a voice than a parent who has been here for decades, raising their children through our public schools. I think we all know folks that come here, have created roots, they work every single day. They raise their kids, they have homes, they have businesses, yet they do not have say over their local government. And this has been changed in other places like San Francisco and other jurisdictions where residential voting has been successfully implemented. And we can see what this really is about. It's about folks that are DACA, that have DACA status, or otherwise known as Dreamers, TPS holders, legal permanent residents, people who we already know, who are known to our government. Folks that are already registered, that do the right thing, and they already participate in our communities and already interacting with city services every single day, except having their voice in their elections.
Our state, the spending has exploded, has more than tripled in the last 15 years. The city is bankrupt. This is powered by enormous amounts of spending on illegal aliens. He talks about fairness and representation. What's fair that you make Americans Remember those people? And naturalized citizens pay way more in taxes to support the illegal alien machine. We pay way more for the schools because there are thousands and thousands of illegal alien kids. Most of them can't speak English. They're in the schools. We have to pay for that. We have to pay, just had another tax increase for health care, especially the emergency health care. Why do we have to pay for that? And then the housing. The rents are much higher. The cost of buying a home much higher because you have 1 million people in LA County taking up all that housing stock. 500,000 at least in LA City alone. How many homes are they in? How much added traffic do they bring? I mean, just how much when we're broke, when we're taxed to death here. Sorry, fairness and representation, we don't seem to be represented anymore. And I know they're ballot harvesting a lot of illegal alien votes anyway. Between the ballot, and who is pushing all this stuff? Well, the communists. Because they hate America. They hate the demographic makeup of America. They hate capitalism. They hate successful people. They hate middle-class people. They hate all of this. And they have 1,001 ways to destroy the place. And everybody else is standing around and letting them. I'm just unbelievable. And yet 10 city council people agree for this. Here's somebody who spoke out against it, Monica Rodriguez. Although, she would like illegal aliens to vote, she thinks it's not practical. Play cut number 8.
If all the other elections on that ballot are among the individuals that are not eligible to vote for those others because we have declared that our elections are ones that they can participate in, we actually find ourselves in a difficult situation because either we're going to have to finance our own separate type of ballot and conduct, or, I don't even know that the county has actually been consulted in their ability to implement such a concept. And so, I understand and don't disagree with you about the frustration of how people contribute to this economy. As you know, and I've established before, we can send non-citizens to go to war and fight for this country, but they can't get the same rights. Trust me, it's my father. I got it. However, practically speaking, in terms of our ability to actually implement this is what my biggest concern is, and the potential fiscal impact of being able to do it in a manner that actually doesn't cause greater financial burden to implement it.
What is she talking about here?
We'd have to have
stop. I can't take this. I don't even understand half these people. It was like having a Raman on yesterday, or Kamala. I mean, it's just nothing but heaps of words out. What does it matter if some illegal aliens join the military? Then don't join. They're not being forced to join. They always talk about, well, they joined the, so don't join. In fact, you shouldn't be allowed to join. You shouldn't be here to get a chance to join. We'll handle our military issues ourselves. We don't need to import new soldiers illegally, okay? I think the American men and women have that covered. All this cherry-picking nonsense, what they add to the economy. We were just told that we lost hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens here after the ICE raids. Nothing happened to the economy. Traffic got a little lighter, I'll say that. That was an upside. You don't need to have illegal aliens to make an economy work. Most states don't have them. What's the economy? You go to some of the neighborhoods, what is it? Like stolen stuff sold on fold-out tables? What kind of economy is that? Food trucks unregulated by the health department, putting regular restaurants out of business? The hell is that? Is the drug trade part of the economy? Does that count? All the illegal alien gang members here running the drug cartels in MacArthur Park, is that part of the economy? I don't know if that counts or not. Give me a break. This is about destroying our way of life. And they always pretty it up with just flowery, emotionally manipulative rhetoric. Enough of this. And I'm telling you, if they bury it inside all these other recommendations to change the city charter on the November ballot, you'll know what they're trying to do. You'll know it doesn't poll well, and they're going to try to sneak it past so nobody understands what they're voting on. When we come back, how about that DACA guy being one of the leaders of that plot to send killer drones to the UFC event at the White House and then shoot all the fleeing fans? Yeah, DACA kid. Must have been one of those scholars they talked about. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Shelter-in-place orders have been reissued for a part of Boyle Heights as fire crews continue mop-up work and ventilate smoke from a massive cold storage warehouse that burned. Crews are still at the scene doing mop-up operations. The fire started yesterday afternoon. LA Fire Chief Jamie Moore says they've been monitoring the air quality.
Our firefighters are assessing the structural integrity of this building. They're also monitoring all of the tanks, the pressurized vessels that are inside.
It's not clear how long the shelter-in-place order will stay in effect. The news is brought to you by Sellers Advantage. LA Mayor Bass says MacArthur Park is no place for drug use, violence, or organized crime. She says she has directed the LAPD to utilize every resource available to stop the flow of narcotics and stolen stuff in the park and surrounding area. Bass adds, because the state and county, not the city, are responsible for providing mental health and drug treatment services, they must increase funding for treatment facilities and recovery services to stop the revolving door between jail and parks. Her comments follow the third raid on drug users in the park by law enforcement. That third raid it took place last night at 9:00. The news is brought to you by Sellers Advantage. Oh, I said that already. Comedian Carlos Mencia has been arrested and charged on 12 felony counts for not reporting or paying taxes on almost $9 million in earnings. LA County DA Hochman calls the comedian one of California's biggest tax scofflaws. Hochman says Mencia owes more than $300,000 in state taxes on his income from 2019 to 2024. A dog trainer from Irvine and his girlfriend have been convicted for the deaths of 11 dogs in their care.
An Orange County Superior Court jury found 54-year-old Kwong Tony Chun Sit guilty of felony animal cruelty and abuse and attempting to destroy evidence. They found 24-year-old Ting Fan Liu guilty of helping him try to cover up the deaths of the dogs. Sit owned Happy Canine Academy. He texted owners that their dogs they'd left to be trained had died, and one owner called the cops, who prevented the quick cremation of most of the dogs. Necropsies showed 8 died from heat stroke after being left in small crates in a hot van, and 1 from blunt force trauma. Sit and Liu will be sentenced July 10th. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
The LA City Council has approved the inclusion of a measure on the November ballot that would let non-citizens vote in city elections. You've been hearing John talk about this. The proposal was introduced by Councilman Hugo Soto Martinez. It was opposed yesterday by Councilman John Lee.
This is rife with problems just to give us broad authority to unilaterally change fundamental election rules at any time for any reason, including voting eligibility, the use of separate ballots, vote counting processes.
Soto Martinez says his proposal is about fairness and representation. And Father's Day spending is expected to hit a record high this year.
Americans are expected to spend big on Dad this weekend. The National Retail Federation predicts a record $27.9 billion in Father's Day spending. Greeting cards top the list of popular gifts, followed by clothing, special outings, and gift cards. Rashida D'Agostino, KFI News.
Southline weather from KFI. Patchy drizzle back again in the morning. Then it will be partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s to mid-70s metro LA, mid-70s to around 80 in the valleys, mid-70s to mid-80s and windy in the high desert and the IE, upper 60s for the beaches, low to mid-70s inland OC. Right now, 71 in San Juan Capistrano and 78 in Stanton. It's slow on the 101 in Calabasas.
The southbound side with delays that are loading up, getting away from Lost Hills. And it's just a slow moving drive, a couple stretches of go all the way into downtown Los Angeles. It's only 32 miles, but it's going to take you about an hour and 40 minutes to make. Now, we're also looking at the 5. This is northbound slowing. Big delays here, starting in La Mirada from Valley View. Delays continue as you make your way all the way to the 14 freeway. The 210 westbound, that's slowing down all the way out of Arcadia, leaving Santa Anita Avenue, and delays in stretches all the way to Hubbard Street. The Cajon Pass also a mess right now. Southbound delays out of the high desert from Ranchero Road all the way to Cleghorn. Northbound slowing from Glen Helen to the 138. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Gearing up for summer travel? Then it's time to put that old car in your driveway to good use. Hey, it's Conway, and here's the deal. Donate your car to Cars for Kids in just 2 minutes. Go to carsforkids.org or phone them up, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K. Any condition, they'll take it and tow it for free. You'll get a tax deduction, a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay to use this summer. 2 minutes, free pickup, and a free vacation? Wow. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org or call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
Cleaning starts with one small task, and suddenly it's the whole house. Luckily, there's AirTasker. Post your task, set your budget, and choose a tasker to help. From carpet cleaning to finally tackling the junk drawer. Go to airtasker.com or download the app.
AirTasker. Get anything done. This June, pay nothing until 2028 with American Vision Windows. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. If you're still drinking and bathing in your city's harsh tap water, it is time to upgrade to a LifeSource whole house water system. It's the essential home appliance. And right now, during their summer special, LifeSource is paying your sales tax. That's up to $1,000 off a new system, but only through July 4th. Call their factory today at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource. Taste and feel the difference. Warranty limitations apply.
Support teens and young adults battling cancer by attending this year's Rockin' Polo, Saturday, June 20th, benefiting Teen Cancer America. It all happens at Will Rogers Polo Club in the Pacific Palisades. Enjoy delicious food, cocktails, live DJ, silent auction, get dressed up and get ready for the divot stomp, and more. Plus, a live acoustic performance by longtime supporters Billy Idol and Steve Stevens. Saturday, June 20th from 12:30 to 5:30. Details and tickets at teencanceramerica.org.
Handle on the news, weekday mornings at 6 on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere. iHeartRadio app, John Kobylt Show, Ron from 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And you can follow us on social media at John Kobylt Radio. We're live on YouTube right now. Go watch us. Look at us. I just checked myself. Because Hugo Soto Martinez and 9 other bozos on the LA City Council want illegal aliens to have the right to vote in city elections. Do any of these people ever read the Constitution? Ever? That's what Susan Shelley said. Article 2, Section 2. It states, a United States citizen, 18 years of age and resident in this state may vote. There you go. That's it. That's it. United States citizen. So I see people writing, well, what's the point of being a citizen? You know what? This is the point of being a citizen. You get a say to vote on political issues and candidates. If you're not supposed to be here, you're supposed to leave. If you won't leave, sometimes you're forcibly removed. Oh, that's terrible. They should riot. Well, here's a guy who should have been removed. You know, today was the day that they had the official opening of that hideous Obama Presidential Center. It's this tall. It looks like a building that already, like a plane already hit it. That is the worst architecture I've ever seen in my life. It's really atrocious. People actually donated money for that? My God, is anybody embarrassed? I mean, they wouldn't put that up in the old Soviet Union. Well, you know, one of the dumbest things Obama did is give the Dreamer kids status. They ended up with legal status to stay in the country. DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, even though he had said up front that he didn't have the power to do it. It wasn't constitutional. Did it anyway. It's been tied up in the courts ever since. Well, one of those young men, I remember we were told, oh, they're all scholars. They're all people who are going to be so grateful, filled with gratitude to be Americans. Yeah, not all of them. Abraham Alvarez was one of the guys who was planning and rehearsing the explosive drone attack at the White House for that UFC event. The FBI thwarted it shortly in advance. They arrested 5 guys. They think there's 23 of them. And one of the ringleaders is an illegal alien from Mexico who was declared a dreamer by Barack Obama and allowed to stay in the country. Came to the U.S. as a child, and he was supposed to leave the country way back in 2001, 25 years ago when he was 6. He had a B-2 visa that expired, but I guess his parents kept him here, and nobody ever followed up. And then was granted deportation relief from the Obama administration. They arrested him in a church in Nebraska where he was living. And the special agent in charge of the FBI Omaha office is Eugene Cole. And he said Alvarez from Nebraska allegedly directed and recruited others across the country to conduct this horrific attack against government officials, a mass casualty event. Our team worked around the clock to locate and apprehend Alvarez. That doesn't sound very grateful, huh? Alvarez, according to the feds, was responsible for planning, organizing, and directing the coordinated attack. So here you go. We don't deport him. We give him free status. And after 31 years, what does he do? They were going to fly these explosive drones overhead at the UFC event at the White House. The things would explode. The crowd was supposed to panic. Everybody's supposed to run screaming for the exits. And waiting for them were going to be sharpshooters, snipers, and they were going to start mowing down all the fleeing Americans. But, you know, I guess thinking was these people are Trump voters, so that's okay. DHS acting assistant secretary Lauren Biss said this illegal alien from Mexico should never been allowed in the country. Yes. Certainly when his visa expired, he should have been taken out. I don't care if he was 6. He was and Obama should have never given him that illegal DACA status. That's me talking. Biss said he was the ringleader of a failed terror attack. He will face justice and swiftly be removed from the country. Well, so much for these scholars, so much for the gratitude of these people. Why don't you let him come to L.A. and he'll get the right to vote? We come back. This is what the people in Palisades feared, and it looks like it's coming true in Altadena. There was a really nice neighborhood, California Post called Picturesque, and it got destroyed in the fires. And now there was a town meeting, 450 people showed up, and they found out that nearly half the properties that sold in the burn zone was purchased by developers. And it looks like they may develop up to 10 housing units on each property because of this new law. 3 stories high, single residential lot. So what was a beautiful, picturesque neighborhood could be an array of 10-unit apartment buildings. And people are pissed. They're angry. One of them wants Newsom to intervene. Buddy, he doesn't care. He's busy now. He's on the phone with his lawyers. He doesn't care about you and your life. I'm sure he got paid off by developers to pass this bill. So I'll tell you about that when we come back. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour news.
Here is the latest. Law enforcement agencies have raided MacArthur Park for the third time in about a month, and a second shelter-in-place order has been issued for the Boyle Heights area. We'll have more at the top of the hour, going to the 105 next.
Lasting Smiles dental implants this summer. Time to finally get a beautiful smile. You don't want rotted and decayed teeth. It's embarrassing. People are talking about you. They look away when you come in the room. With Lasting Smiles, they got a free comprehensive dental exam, full 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan, payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. Mention KFI, mention John, lastingsmiles.com. You'll get the deal. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow, high 60s to the mid-80s. This report brought to you by Discover. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy, slow on the 105 in El Segundo.
These eastbound delays are filling in, leaving Sepulveda Boulevard, and you're on the brakes across the 105 as you continue all the way to the 605 freeway. Also tough on the 110. This is northbound getting away from the 91 freeway. And that drive is tough all the way to the 5 as you make your way into Elysian Park. Also tough on the southbound side of the 110, slowing from the 5 freeway as well. And delays looking a lot better once you make your way past Rosecrans Avenue. If you see any problems, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic, with Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Angel Martinez.
Years of early mornings, every weekend, every holiday, all for one dream, to play on the LPGA Tour. She finally turned pro. Now, she just needs a stage worthy of her talent. Next Golf is that stage, a professional women's tour in Florida built to give these athletes the runway they've earned. Support her journey at nextgolf.com/support. That's nxxtgolf.com. Play it forward.
When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. This report is sponsored by Albertsons and Vons. Outdoor entertaining begins with great deals at Vons or Albertsons. This week, pork baby back ribs are $3.99 a pound with membership where applicable. And untrimmed tri-tip roast is $4.99 per pound with membership where applicable. Limit 2 roasts. Shop in store or online today.
L&K's Therapy Thursday is a podcast. The stories are real, the drama is messy, and the advice is life-changing. Catch it now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts. L&K's Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Termites are one of those things we tend to put off. E. coli is here to protect your most expensive investment, your home, your family, and the environment. You might have heard of Sue Freeze, the termite lady. She's the owner of E. coli Termite and Pest Control. Now, they've been protecting Southern California homes for more than 40 years. So if you have a termite problem, that's who you want in your corner. E. coli offers eco-friendly treatments that are tough on termites, but gentle on kids, pets, and anyone who's sensitive to chemicals. And if you're not planning on selling your house, they'll come out and inspect your home for free. And with all the heat we've had over this last month here in Southern California, it's perfect breeding grounds for termites. E. coli has been recognized as one of the top pest control companies in North America by Pest Control Technology magazine. So if you suspect a termite problem, you must act fast. So call E. coli at 1-800-332-BUGS. 1-800-332-2847. 1-800-332-BUGS.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
America's 250th anniversary is a big event. And if you're promoting a business, your advertising plan needs to be bigger than one channel. iHeart can help you bring your message to life across podcasts and broadcast, meaning your business will show up with scale and depth wherever your customers are listening. America 250 builds up into the July 4th weekend when listeners are traveling, celebrating, and tuned in. Let iHeart help you surround those moments. Call 844-844-IHEART today to get started. That's 844-844-IHEART.
As veterans, life can often feel like it gives us little control, spinning us through moments of turmoil and peace, companionship and loneliness. But with each challenge, we come closer to finding our place, out of darkness and into light. When it feels like your world is moving too quickly, you're not alone. VA is standing by. Explore mental health resources and treatments for veterans at mentalhealth.va.gov.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
June gloom may keep things cool, but termites never stop. Termite droppings or discarded wings are signs of an active infestation. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free written inspection. Pacific Coast Termite uses orange oil and Ultraset. No tenting, no move out, and no poisonous gas. Call now and save 10% on termite services. Plus, get a free 2-year warranty. Ask about 90-day same-as cash financing on approved credit. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC for Pacific Coast Termite. Some restrictions apply.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
Hurt in a car, motorcycle, or trucking accident? Call Sweet James for a free case review. 809-million and sweetjames.com. Offices throughout California, including Los Angeles. Results not guaranteed and cannot predict future outcomes.
Bill Handel. Yeah, so oil prices are down considerably. That's not a shocker. Gas prices you are not going to see going down a lot. You're still going to see, I believe, prices for goods, inflation going up because the fertilizer that was stopped for 3 months.
Tomorrow morning at 6 on KFI AM 640.
It's good news, and at the same time, it's not as good of news as we wanted.
More stimulating talk. iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of the FIFA World Cup 2026
live.
Magical. Just open the free app and search World Cup. Plus, tap the highlights tab to catch up on anything you missed. Lock in your preset now. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
Ranch dressing is such a hit with all the World Cup fans. The TSA has had to weigh in.
The Friday version of the Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow morning at 9.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. And we are live on YouTube. So please go to YouTube, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. When the Palisades burned down and the process of getting permits and rebuilding was extremely slow, a lot of people thought, well, the government let it burn because they want to remake this place. And they want to remake it with affordable housing. Because the government of Gavin Newsom hates successful people. And they do. And they pass lots of laws and taxes to penalize successful people. And the Palisades probably really irritated them. That was the thought of a lot of people. And it's hard to disagree. You could call it a wacky conspiracy theory. But then there's this. Now, this is not the Palisades. This is Altadena. But a lot of Altadena is really nice. Long-standing neighborhoods. And there was one neighborhood that the Post described as picturesque. And it was the subject of a town meeting. 450 people showed up, and the residents gasped and got angry. They found out that 49% of the properties that sold in the burn zone since the wildfire have been purchased by developers. And the developers because they bribed the government to get this bill passed in collusion with the whack job Democrats who think this is the way we ought to live in small apartments and because of climate change. Anyway, they created housing laws. These developers can now take these lots. No more nice neighborhood. That's gone. They can put up buildings with 10 housing units as high as 3 stories on a single residential lot. So you're going to have these 10-unit apartment complexes, one after the other after the other. And the residents said, well, that's going to use up a lot of water, a lot of electrical infrastructure. Parking is going to be impossible. Evacuation routes were tough enough. And Altadena will be a completely different town. One resident said, we're a single-family residential community. We lost everything, and now we're losing our community. And one resident said, you got to push Newsom to do something. We need more from him. It is incredible how naive people are. Gavin Newsom is a narcissistic psychopath. He absolutely does not care about your miserable life. He does not. He is busy extracting money from you. In fact, there's a new budget bill they're debating. There's $14 billion of new taxes on the bill. $14 billion worth. More taxes on this is not taxes on billionaires. I got to talk about that next hour because that's going to be a disaster. A state senator named Sasha Renee Perez is introduced a bill to try to put a moratorium on these dense housing projects. It's known as Keep Altadena Land in Altadena's Hands Act. And no vote was taken on the measure. But you know something? Don't fall for this affordable housing nonsense. Developers don't want to build affordable housing. They can't make money on that. That's why it's not around. You have 2 kinds of housing. At market rate, or the taxpayer has to pay for it. But you're not going to get developers to build what you think are affordable housing, because what you think is affordable housing is not something they can afford to build. They're in it to make profits. Now, they use some of their profits to bribe the legislature, and they succeed. And to bribe whoever's governor. One resident, Kenneth McFeeters, said, when we burned up, maybe they should have had a plan together so people could build homes in some kind of conformity. They don't have plans. They don't have anything. They didn't have a plan to protect the Palisades or Altadena. They didn't have a plan to respond. I mean, the city and the county's response was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. They didn't plan. They still won't explain all the things they did wrong. They won't admit to them. They don't do nothing. I don't think you understand. All the people that should be doing the planning are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're in jobs where they're never going to be fired, and they don't care about if you're living in a tent somewhere. And you vote for these people over and over and over again. So I wish I could give you some good news here, but if you vote for these narcissistic sociopaths, well, then you're going to get narcissistic sociopathic behavior. And by definition, sociopaths don't care about anybody else. They don't have any empathy. They don't have any interest. They're willing to hurt you, and they don't feel guilt. They don't feel any compassion. It's brain wiring. There's a section of the brain that governs that sort of thing, empathy, compassion. They literally, that part of their brain, they've done scans. It's shrunk. Newsom's is the size of a termite. It's nothing. I don't think he has one. Oh, he's got to intervene. He's got to do something. Oh, please. The faith people have, the faith people have in politicians in this state just bowls me over every day. They actually believe. I tell you, they did good brainwashing when we were all kids. I mean, I remember, we'd be in class and, the mayor would come to visit, or they'd take us on a field trip to see what a courtroom looked like with a judge. And we were told how the system works, and we had textbooks explaining how the system works and what the roles of the politicians were and how a law was passed. They skipped all the part about all the narcissistic sociopaths and all the bribery and all the theft that goes on. I don't think ballot harvesting was a thing when we were kids. When we come back, dumbest idea out there is a billionaire tax. And I'm going to explain to you what is happening and what's going to happen. Oh, right. First, Adam Housley, though. Right. All right. Thank you for reminding me. Adam Housley, he's an independent journalist, formerly of Fox News. He put out on X last night a whole set of intriguing tidbits about what's going on with Gavin and Jennifer. This is a real investigation. This is real trouble for Gavin and Jennifer. Adam Housley's next. Deborah Mark is live to KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Another drug bust. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Law enforcement agencies have raided MacArthur Park for the third time in about a month. Police and drug enforcement agents have made more arrests as part of Operation Free MacArthur Park. DEA Special Agent in Charge Anthony Chrysanthus says this time agents went in at night.
We've been hearing that a lot of stuff has been moving to later in the day. So that's why we're coming out later in the day in full force to show them that this is not a joke. Officials say an open-air drug market has been running rampant in the park. A second shelter-in-place order has been issued in the Boyle Heights area as fire crews start ventilating smoke from the cold storage warehouse that burned yesterday. The order affects an area south of the 101 to roughly Washington Boulevard, east of Lorena Street and west of Indiana Street. Residents in the area west of Lorena Street are being advised that they may see smoke as a result of the ventilation work. In the Palisades Fire trial of Jonathan Rinderknecht, a federal arson investigator says the 30-year-old expressed hatred of political leaders and spoke of his resentment of the rich. Matt Beals of the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has told the jury that Rinderknecht had issues with Big Pharma, Elon Musk, federal food regulators, and the people he said would rule the world. Prosecutors expect to wrap up their case today. Eaton fire survivors are complaining about developers swooping in and buying up the neighborhood.
More than 400 showed up at a city council meeting to voice concerns. They say there's been an invasion of greedy developers buying up property to turn lots into multifamily housing.
It should not be easier for developers to build 10 units on a cleared lot than for a family like myself to rebuild just one home and maybe an few, but it should not be that way.
Property owners want tougher restrictions on developers who want to build on top of former single-family lots. 49% of properties in the burn zone have been bought by developers. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
The LA City Council is working to get some proposed charter amendments on the November ballot.
In a few weeks, the council will likely take a final vote on the ballot language. Changes to the charter must be approved by voters. In a 10-5 vote, the council approved a proposal to let non-citizens vote in elections for the city and for the school board. The council also approved a proposal to give the city council more oversight over the Los Angeles Police Department. Mark Mayfield, KFI News.
Voters in California will get to decide on the 2026 Billionaire Tax Act.
The November ballot measure would charge a one-time 5% tax on people worth more than $1 billion. Supporters say the money would help fund state healthcare programs, while critics say the revenue is uncertain and could push wealthy residents out of California. Brigida D'Agostino, KFI News.
John's going to have more on this after the news. Luigi Mangione's legal team has changed course again, withdrawing its intention to invoke a psychiatric defense for the man accused of gunning down a healthcare CEO in New York. ABC's Rhiannon Alley says it's a complete reversal from lawyers for Luigi Mangione.
It was just 24 hours ago that his lawyers revealed they were planning to use a psychiatric defense. Well, they have just done a total U-turn. They're not revealing why they've decided to change this defense.
Mangione's charged with killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in 2024. His trial is set to start in September. Southland weather from KFI, patchy drizzle back in the morning, then partly cloudy, highs upper 60s to mid 70s. Metro LA, mid 70s to around 80 in the valleys, mid 70s to mid 80s, and windy in the high desert and the IE, upper 60s at the beaches, low to mid 70s inland OC. Right now it's 70 in Dana Point, 74 in Anaheim, 75 in Diamond Bar, it's 74 in Simi Valley. The KFI financial update brought to you by Supershore, supershore.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 72, S&P 500 up 80, and NASDAQ up 496. Slow on the 5 in Irvine.
These northbound delays begin all the way at Bake Parkway, taking you ahead to Lincoln in Anaheim. Even the southbound side of the 5, pretty busy, leaving the 5722, taking you all the way to Jamboree. Looking better beyond as you continue towards the El Toro Y, and you've got a crowded drive right below the merge. Looking a lot better by Lake Forest Drive. Now, let's also take a look at Corona. This is the southbound side of the 15. Delays leaving the 91 freeway all the way to Wyrick Road. And very tough in the Cajon Pass this afternoon. Starting on the southbound side of the 15, delays backing up almost from the 395 out of Hesperia. Delays continue towards Cleghorn. That northbound side is slowing from Glen Helen Parkway heading back to the 138. The drive on the 5 northbound loading up all the way out of La Mirada from Valley View. Delays continue and stretches all the way to the 14 freeway. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Do you ever feel like stress and anxiety are running your life, affecting your reactions, your decisions, even your relationships? You're not alone, and it doesn't have to stay that way. For decades, millions have turned to the best-selling book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, for a true understanding of the human mind and why we sometimes think, feel, and act in self-defeating ways. Now you can experience the power of Dianetics for yourself at a live weekend seminar. At a Dianetics seminar, you'll learn exactly how the mind works, gain control over your life, and achieve true happiness. A single weekend can change everything. Register today and take charge of your mental health. Go to Dianetics.org/seminar. That's Dianetics.org/seminar.
LNK's Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. One confession can turn into a full-on phone explosion. Hear the drama, the heartbreak, and the advice everyone's talking about on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. LNK's Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
For a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One. Now, your chance to win $2,500. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Birthday. That's birthday. Enter it now.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. We are live everywhere on the app, and you can hear us over KFI. You can hear streaming, podcast coming out in about an hour. John Kobylt Show on demand. That's on the app as well. And what else? YouTube Live. Welcome. Come and watch, and you can participate in the chat alongside the video screen. And what's the link? YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. Thank you for reminding me. YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. You can subscribe, become a member. Let's get Adam Housley on now. Adam Housley, he has, does he have his own introduction music? Yeah. He's been in journalism for a long time, worked at Fox for many years, and he's now doing his own thing. He puts out a a lot of independent scoops on X and maybe other places. I don't know, but he's been putting things on X this week. He has some good sources who is giving him information on the Gavin and Jennifer situation, this federal investigation. Adam, how are you?
Good. I'm excited to have my own intro music, John.
Yeah, I didn't know we'd commission that. Hey, besides X,
I think it's enough one.
Are you putting your stuff on anywhere else?
Yeah, Substack. So I wrote a book from when I was in news, and just all the different things have been going on, and I actually now put in chapters on more recent stuff. Because obviously I've been on your show for years doing some of the places I've been, and but now I'm doing this kind of independent thing since I left, and so this is one of those stories. This obviously the French Laundry was another one. So I've been posting on a Substack as well, and it's been pretty cool. I got a really good feedback.
Well, I'm really intrigued by a series of posts you made yesterday. You seem to have some sources, and it looks like this investigation goes all the way back to 2021 or 2022. Talk about what you've learned so far from your sources on Jennifer and Gavin.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what's interesting to me is I actually put this out about almost a year ago, maybe 10 months ago. I have to go back and look at the exact date. I tweeted they were under investigation. They got a little bit of movement. Obviously, when you're an independent journalist, you don't have the same kind of magnitude as you do when you're on a major network. At the same time, when the governor comes out and admits it and kind of proactively says that they're under investigation, he's trying to cut off something at the pass, because that's when everybody went, oh my God, what's going on with the governor? And of course, he blames the president. Setting all that aside, this has been going on since the Biden administration. So what's happened, what I learned was in 2021, I've told the case has a 2021 date on it. Now, what could have happened, John, is it could have been a case that could have gone away and then a new one could have been started, which happens a lot. But there was, at one point, 2 cases being looked at against the governor's wife and one against him. It absolutely involves the NGO. As one of the investigators told me, who I've known for a very long time and respect, he said, the noose is tightening. So, as we all hear those things, a lot of times politicians get away with it anyways. So I'm curious to see what that means. Does that mean he's going to, is it going to be specifically on him and her separately, or is it going to be focused more on her? But they did hone in on her, the First Lady of California, in 2022, thanks to a whistleblower. That's when the wiretaps began. For sure. The chief of staff, of course, got folded into all this. We've heard about her and the fact that she is pled.
That's Dana Williamson.
Yes, correct. What I thought was interesting, too, is one of the investigators told me this. They said, find the weakest links and we get them to flip. And multiple flips are expected. He goes, take a look at this. Now, this is someone who was intensely involved in this investigation at one point. 23 count indictment, pled down to 3. That means 20 got settled for cooperation, which I thought was very interesting. They're looking at the campaign fund account being looted as part of the investigation. I mean, this is pretty significant. And if he told me, this one person that I'm really close with, that I'm respect, said, you don't mess with the IRS. And he goes, and Adam in Sacramento, we got some pretty damn good IRS investigators, and they don't like to be messed with. So once you kind of cross them and you get into their crosshairs, they don't care if you have an R next to your name, a D next to your name. They really don't give a damn. They're going to go after you. So he thought that was an interesting angle, and so do I, of course. I mean, because that would be a big deal if they're not afraid.
You mentioned wiretaps of Jennifer and Gavin Newsom.
Her for sure. I've confirmed that she was wiretapped. Yes, or there was wiretaps involving her case. And that again, there's a lot of other ways that can be used, right? And because I wasn't obviously there. The wiretaps, was it specifically just her? Was it her and him? Was it her staff? That's what we don't know, but it definitely was wiretaps targeting her.
And the Dana Williamson angle is interesting because she was part of 3 people who pleaded guilty involving stealing money from Javier Becerra's campaign. She was Newsom's chief of staff. Becerra's chief of staff pleaded guilty. She had 23 counts, as you said. And you think 20 of them were dismissed in exchange for cooperation?
That's what we've been told, yes. I believe that may even be public now, but I'm not sure. I have to double check that.
And cooperation on the Newsom case?
Correct. That's what I've been led to believe. Interesting also is that it really centered initially on the NGO companies around her and private expenditures. As one, again, person with very close knowledge said, Newsom's public acknowledgement of this looks like an attempt to get ahead of the story, especially with presidential ambitions in the mix. He waited until after the midterms for obvious reasons to announce all this, probably because the noose is tightening. The interesting thing to me, there's two things I think that goes back to this. First of all, he's been running for president, as we all know, for a long time.
Yeah.
I know of a date back in September of 22 where he had a big fundraiser, 21, I have to look, a big fundraiser during a brownout in the Fab 40 section of Sacramento, which is exclusive, older homes, like you see out in Pasadena, beautiful area, big time fundraiser. We're all being told, turn off our electricity. They have a massive fundraiser for him for president. This has been going on for a long time.
Totally in character.
Absolutely. I mean, French Laundry, Yountville's my hometown. I mean, that's another whole story. What's interesting to me, though, is that the sources that I talked to were they were very surprised that the Biden administration didn't bury this or didn't try to find a way to just be like, oh, everything's fine. Kind of, that's kind of telling to me. And it kind of surprised me. And I wonder if there's any interaction between the Newsoms and the Bidens at the Obama Presidential Library opening, because, they could have found a way, in theory, to bury some of this stuff, right? I mean, it happens all the time. It's why people always bitch about politicians getting away with stuff. It's because they get away with it. So the fact that it wasn't buried kind of goes to another point that I was told several times in the last couple of years by my kind of Democrat friends on the East Coast. They're kind of over the West Coast Dems being in leadership positions, the Pelosi's and stuff, for a long time. So I was told a long time ago, hey, one guy in particular, I think, is hysterical. He says to me, he goes, Adam, you know what? We love you, Californians, but we're kind of sick of the Democrat leadership coming from out there. So we're going to, the next few years, we're aiming on making sure the East Coast has the leadership positions. And that, to me, is kind of telling, too. Did that play into this? I don't know, but it might have.
And plus, Newsom could have been a rival for Biden had he decided 100%. To run in the primaries.
Well, he was back there lobbying for it. Just so you know, when Kamala stepped in, he was lobbying for it big time. That's why he was doing numerous trips back there to D.C. with the intention of trying to be the guy the Democrats chose, and of course that didn't happen.
Oh, so he wanted to be anointed instead of Kamala. I see. Yeah, that's
100%.
This all works. Well, listen, you did great stuff. I can't wait to read more of yours, more of your work.
Well, it's fun, John.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on.
Keep those sources working. Adam Housley, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, John.
All right. We'll talk more about this when we come back. This is real stuff. This isn't overheated nonsense. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. LA County DA Hochman announces criminal charges against a comedian, and more Republicans are criticizing the Iran deal President Trump signed to bring an end to the war. We will have more at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go to the 5 next.
Lasting Smiles Dental Implants. They have the Summer Smile Specials.
Every breakthrough.
So if you're, it's my turn. If you have teeth that are rotted and decayed and you just look hideous and it makes people uncomfortable when you open your mouth, go to Lasting Smiles. You get a free comprehensive dental exam, full 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan. Payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. $149 a month. Mention KFI or John, and you could get the Summer Smile Special. LastingSmiles.com. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI. Partly cloudy tomorrow. High 60s to the mid 80s. This report brought to you by Summit Clinical Research. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Crash on the 5 in Downey.
This one's on the southbound side at Lakewood Boulevard. It's off to the shoulder now, but delays are still loading up overall out of Burbank, getting away from Olive. Now in South LA, it's a conked out bus. 105 eastbound right at Vermont. Middle lane's blocked. Delays backing up all the way out of El Segundo, getting away from Sepulveda Boulevard. And some one-way traffic control. This is out in the Yorba Linda area, Sleepy Hollow. Carbon Canyon eastbound. Well, it's affecting both directions if it's one-way traffic control. Near Old Carbon Canyon Road, they're doing some repair work out there, and you've got a slow drive getting away from Lambert. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Every breakthrough starts with someone willing to take part. Summit Clinical Research is seeking volunteers with fatty liver disease for studies focused on MASH. Participants may receive study treatment, care, and compensation at no cost. Check eligibility at NASHlivertrials.com.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet-recommended fresh dog food, made right here in LA.
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you reach the audience you need to grow your business at the speed of sound at iHeartAdvertising.com.
It's 95 degrees and your air conditioner suddenly starts making a very weird noise. That's when you post your task on AirTasker. Find local help for repairs, yard work, errands, and more without losing your cool. Go to airtasker.com or download the app.
AirTasker. Get anything done.
My mattress is so lumpy that I fall into the crack.
I wake up every morning and I have a broken back.
But Sit and Sleep saved us from that old dust mite-filled bed that we've been sleeping on.
It's Sit and Sleep's Independence Sale. Save over $1,000 off select brands and sleep interest-free for 36 months. Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price. Are your mattresses?
Gary and Shannon.
More stimulating talk.
What's going to happen now with this runoff for mayor?
When records, when policy, you agree on all that, what is there left? And so they're going to go after each other's records. It's going to get ugly.
Tomorrow, 9 to noon on KFI AM 640.
You save your sharpest knives for those you know best, and these two know each other very well.
This is KFI. The biggest FIFA World Cup ever has started.
The most goals the United States have ever scored in a World Cup game.
The only place to hear the action for free is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live.
First career World Cup hat trick.
Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Just search World Cup.
Don't miss Team USA's next match Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern against Australia.
The world is listening. Are you? iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
The second stage of group play at the World Cup rolls on. Czechia and South Africa ended in a 1-1 draw. Then Switzerland took down Bosnia 4-1.
Puts the exclamation mark on it for Switzerland. 4-1.
And U.S. star Christian Pulisic remains day-to-day with a calf injury after training separately from the team today. The U.S. plays Australia on Friday.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's Conway Show. I get bitten by mosquitoes all the time. And guess what? I found the natural solution and all the substances that go into it you probably have at home. Today after 6, I will tell you how you can stop getting bitten and eaten by mosquitoes.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Last call for the Moist line for tomorrow. You can weigh in on all the criminal activity swirling around the Newsoms. 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just a couple of things following up on what Adam Housley told us, and you really should read him on Substack and also on X. He had a series of exclusive posts in the last day, and the thing that intrigued me that he mentioned a few minutes ago was that Newsom, if you remember, after Biden face planted during the Trump debate, Newsom went to his rescue, going on television and telling everybody that he thought Joe did great. And in the meantime, first I heard of this, he was flying to Washington to try to convince the Biden people to anoint him as the replacement against Kamala Harris. So he's going public, telling the world that he thought Joe did fine in the debate. Meantime, he's backstabbing Kamala Harris and trying to ingratiate himself into being the nominee. Because he thought, wow, you're not having a primary. I don't have to face the voters. This is my chance. Because the whole country knows that this state is a disaster area and that he's a corrupt, arrogant jerk. So the only way he could sneak into the nomination is not to have a primary, not to have people vote. It's the only way Kamala could get there, too. Two of these people are unelectable outside of California. They may have won a zillion elections in the state, but outside the borders, they're not winning anything. And that's why it was a gift to her. Here's the nomination. You don't have to impress voters. Here's $2 billion. You know, whoever runs as a Democrat's going to get about 48% of the vote. So here's $2 billion. Could you squeak out 2 more %? And she couldn't. Same thing would have happened to Gavin as well. Because his whole act now is just screaming about Trump. And you bring up all the degradation of California, and he just denies, gaslights, and changes the subject. If you want to see how he does it, see his atrocious performance, that debate he did against Ron DeSantis on Fox a few years ago. I mean, what an oily snake he is. Unbelievable. So I just read Politico here, and they're running the same tired hack stuff about, is this a Trump revenge prosecution? Good Lord, read Adams' stuff. This goes back to 2021, 2022. It centers on Jennifer Newsom's taxes. Either the tax forms are funky or they're not. And I don't know. I don't think it's outrageous to suspect something corrupt is going on when Jennifer is paying herself $4 million between her nonprofit and for-profit company, forcing films on middle schoolers about sexuality and feminism and making them pay her a license fee. That doesn't sound like something an ethical, decent person would do. Not to mention the $350 million in behested payments we told you about yesterday, where he's shaking down corporations and shaking down wealthy people and sending the money. Some of it, I mean, I read even some of the fire money went to Jennifer and Gavin's nonprofits. This is money laundering. So, one more thing. You know, I can't stand Waymos. I've mentioned this a number of times, and they're all over my side of town. And I've made a collection of all the stories of Waymos going haywire, Waymos involved in accidents, Waymos getting recalled. I got another one here. Waymo is recalling 3,800 of their robo-taxis. Software glitch. You know what the Waymos were doing?
What?
They were driving into freeway construction zones.
Jeez. I've never been in one.
I will go in one. That to me is like some kind of horror movie. You're in a car and you have no control because you get in there, you're locked in. You can't get out.
You really can't get out? Wait,
No.
They lock you in there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, when the car's moving, yeah, you're locked in there.
Oh, but when it stops, you can get out. If it stops at a stoplight or a stop
I don't know.
sign?
No, I don't think so. I think you're trapped in there.
No.
You want to test it out?
Oh, if you come with me.
Talk about being locked in a crazy box.
God.
The Waymos didn't recognize the construction zones. They drove past ramp closure signs. Well, I thought they're supposed to see things, right? Right. That's why they don't drive into cars or buildings. They see things. They detect them. Why don't they see the signs? So they drive past the signs. They right into the freeway construction zones, and freeway lanes with active construction work. This is what the recall said, the report. The Waymos may enter and drive at speed in freeway zones, construction zones, due to inappropriately prioritizing the avoidance of other freeway hazards or failing to recognize the construction zone. It's gobbledygook. The Waymo people said, well, we've identified an area of improvement. I can't stand corporate gobbledygook, corporate spin. Second one in a month, second recall. They recalled 4,000 in May because the vehicles were entering flooded roadways.
That's when you want to jump out, John.
You have to. You got to climb on the roof if you get out of there. One of its vehicles had rolled into a flooded lane in San Antonio.
Ouch!
Right. We'll have more when we come back. There's a new survey out, Wallet Hub. 148 of the biggest American metropolitan areas, how efficiently the local governments are run. There were 36 different metrics. 6 cities were in the bottom 15 in California. 6. I'll tell you which ones. What do you think? Pick the cities. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour news.
LA County DA Hochman announces criminal charges against comedian Carlos Mencia. It's the first case filed by the newly created Business Tax Fraud Unit. Hochman says Mencia did not report almost $9 million in unpaid taxes and was arrested this morning.
He is on the California Franchise Tax Board's list of the 500 greatest tax delinquents in both personal and corporate income categories.
The Business Tax Fraud Unit is being headed by Deputy DA Michelle Hennessy. An heir to one of California's biggest raisin companies has been charged with 3 felony hate crimes for allegedly threatening to kill a rabbi as he led an evening prayer service in the Pacific Palisades. The LA County DA Attorney's Office says that Bruce Lyon allegedly stood on his balcony and shouted anti-Semitic threats at the rabbi on June 5th. Gas prices across the country have fallen to less than $4 a gallon on average, but not in California. The average price per gallon here is $5.64, and the state's gas tax goes up again on July 1st. The average gas price in LA County is $5.65. It's $5.52 in Orange County and the IE. A new report shows that LA area drivers lose more than $5,500 a year on roads that are rough, congested, and lacking in safety features.
The amount statewide from Rocky Moretti, Director of Policy and Research for the nonprofit TRIP, is eye-opening.
Annually, the cost to Californians is $100 billion with a B in the lack of an adequate transportation system.
The report, called California Transportation by the Numbers, looks at the impact of transportation systems that aren't as reliable, safe, or well-maintained as they should be. It says 62% of LA's major roadways have pavements in poor condition and another 21% in mediocre condition. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
More Republicans are criticizing the Iran deal President Trump has signed to bring an end to the war. Texas Senator Ted Cruz says it would be a big mistake to include a $300 billion account to rebuild Iran as part of the memo of understanding.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy says he thinks it's the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. And the Obama Presidential Center has been opened in Chicago. Former President Obama says the highlights in the center don't include himself. They highlight the efforts of people trying to make their communities better.
If you come for a day and you don't have time to see everything, I would urge you to skip the clips of my speeches. You have heard them all before.
We're heading over to the 101 next.
Is it time to downsize? Well, selling your home doesn't have to be this big, painful hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you skip the real estate agents, the commissions, and costly repairs. They'll buy your house as is for cash. They can do it quickly. They can close in a matter of days. A fair, competitive price. You don't have to worry about falling through. Chris Chavez, a real Seller's Advantage customer, had this to say. Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I worked with. They offered me more than I expected. The whole process was great. They always answered the phone and willing to help. Get your free no-obligation cash offer today. Seller's Advantage, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRA number 01961658, Providence Realty, DRA number 01915212.
Southland weather from KFI, patchy drizzle again in the morning. Then it will be partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s to mid 70s for Metro LA. Mid 70s to around 80 in the valleys. Mid 70s to mid 80s and windy again for the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s for the beaches. Low to mid 70s inland OC. Right now 72 in Laguna Woods and in Rancho Santa Margarita. Crash on the 101 in Studio City.
So this one is along the southbound side coming up on Laurel Canyon Boulevard. Left lane is blocked. Delays backing up overall. That southbound 101 overall out of Calabasas, leaving just about Lost Hills. And then beyond the scene of the crash, you still have a tough drive as you continue all the way into downtown Los Angeles. Out of Santa Monica, the 10 eastbound loading up at just about 20th Street. Delays across Mid-City all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. Very slow on the 405. This is southbound delays out of West LA, Santa Monica Boulevard as you continue all the way to the 605. And let's also take a look at the drive in Rubidoux. 60 eastbound, crowding up at Rubidoux Boulevard. Delays and stretches towards Day Street. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Years of early mornings. Every weekend, every holiday, all for one dream, to play on the LPGA Tour. She finally turned pro. Now, she just needs a stage worthy of her talent. Next Golf is that stage, a professional women's tour in Florida built to give these athletes the runway they've earned. Support her journey at nextgolf.com/support. That's nxxtgolf.com. Play it forward.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Have a termite problem? You must act fast. Call Ecola at 1-800-332-BUGS.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
This June, pay nothing until 2028 with American Vision Windows. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Being hurt in an accident is like a punch in the gut that you never saw coming. The attorneys at Sweet James know the agony, the disruption, and sometimes the devastation that people go through. Sweet James has spent 25 years fighting for injured accident victims. They have the experience, the reputation, and the care to help you make your comeback. They've helped thousands of people just like you recover when an accident has changed their life, and they've won over $1 billion for their clients. They can't guarantee the outcome, but you want a law firm like Sweet James on your side when you need someone the most. Call 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-000-000. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, you call the attorneys at Sweet James, and you'll pay nothing until they win. You call 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-MILLION, or go to sweetjames.com with offices in Los Angeles.
Hey, follow us on all the things at KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, we're stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 to 6. And podcast released just after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand, live on YouTube. Hello there. And we'll be on YouTube till 6 as well. And then you could watch the recording right after that of the whole 3 hours. I mentioned before, the billionaire tax is still in play. It could be on the ballot in November, but there's a lot of fighting going on to have it removed before a deadline passes. Newsom doesn't want it. A lot of Democratic politicians don't want it because rich people are a gigantic source of tax revenue, and they are going to leave. A lot of them have. National Review did a story. Listen to this. Those of you dismissive communists who think billionaires aren't going to move their money. Just by talking about a wealth tax, a billionaire's tax, entrepreneurs worth between $700 billion and $1 trillion have already moved out of the state. Yes, we lost people worth $1 trillion. They're gone. That means they're going to be paying zero taxes in California. And they're going to have happy lives somewhere else, and they get to keep the money they earned. Good work. What these communists don't tell you is that the top 1% pay almost 50% of all the income tax in this state. Personal income tax. 50% comes from the top 1%. Oh, pay their fair share. Yeah. No, they're way overtaxed. And the top 5% pay 70% of the state income tax. How about that? Top 5% of workers have so much money confiscated, they pay 70% of the taxes here. A lot of people are going to leave. I know a lot of people who are leaving. Talked about this before. Heard from two of them just in the past 12 hours. They're going to Florida, Texas, and other places. They're paying a lot less in tax. And they're going specifically that, like, this is last straw stuff. If some idiot tells you it's not happening, they're lying or they're stupid. They're ignorant. And in California, capital gains taxes, the money you make from selling your stocks or your home, are treated as ordinary income, not capital gains income. So when the founder of a company or an investor cashes out, he's taxed at a full rate. Well, they're going to leave before they cash out. I know I am. I will. Before I cash out my investments, it's not going to be here. And almost everybody I know says, not going to be here. So it's going to go into the toilet. And this was Charles C.W. Cook who wrote this piece. And he closed it out by reminding everybody there is a psycho named Lorena Gonzalez Fletcher. She used to be in the legislature. She's now with the California Federation of Labor Unions. She's a wild-eyed lunatic communist. And a few years back, she tweeted F Elon Musk, but she spelled out the whole thing. F Elon Musk. Musk replied, message received, and then immediately relocated Tesla to Texas. So if that's how they're going to play the game, then there's going to be an enormous amount of money sucked out of the California Treasury, which is why even greasy Newsom is trying to stop this billionaire tax. By the way, here's the secret on the billionaire tax, which we told you about. If you read it, most people don't. But if it makes the ballot and you read it, it allows the legislature to expand that tax to everybody. And remember, this is not a tax on your income. This is a tax on your wealth. You have to total up everything that you own. Value of your real estate, value of your stocks, bonds, cash on hand, your cars, your artwork, anything of value. Got a second home at the beach or in the hills, all of it gets added up. And it doesn't matter if the stock has not been sold, that it's just on paper. They're going to be taxing wealth on paper. And in this ballot initiative, if you read it, it says that the legislature can expand it to anybody they want, not just billionaires. You could get a tax on whatever net worth you have. They'll start with people worth hundreds of millions and then tens of millions and then millions and then hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands, but they will. And you can't stop them. 2/3 majority. Bulletproof. They could override a governor's veto. They could override Newsom is a lame duck now. He's only got 6 months left. They could override his veto. And you're going to empty out not only all that tax revenue, which I thought was the point of this, but you lose their brains, their intelligence, their creativity, eventually the industries, all their talents. They go elsewhere. You know, California used to be empty fields and empty deserts. It can be that way again. Other states can fill up. There's plenty of room in Florida, plenty of room in Texas, Arizona, Nevada, Tennessee, North Carolina. No, I mean, look at New Jersey. New Jersey just stole a big chunk of the Hollywood industry. We've got the dumbest people running this place and the dumbest people voting for the ones who run this place. When we come back, mention this, we want to get to it. What are the worst run cities in America? Wallet Hub analyzed 148 of the biggest American metropolitan areas, 36 different metrics. 6 California cities were in the bottom 15. No California city was in the top 25. I'll tell you about the 6 at the bottom. In fact, one California city was number 148 out of 148. Tell you about it next. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. At least half a dozen people have been arrested in a sting drug operation in MacArthur Park. Shelter-in-place orders have been reissued for an area of Boyle Heights. We'll have more at the top of the hour, heading over to the 5 next.
Lasting Smiles dental implants. This is the best time to transform your smile. Get it done now. Summer's about to start, and you're going to be going places. You're going to be seeing friends and relatives, and you're going to be going to the barbecue and to the beach, and you're supposed to be smiling at all these happy events. But if you smile, you'll ruin the event. How are people going to eat if you got rotted, decayed teeth, discolored, damaged? Get dental implants. You go to Lasting Smiles. They have decades of experience. They use cutting-edge digital technology. And you'll get a free comprehensive dental exam with full 3D imaging. And this treatment plan will be designed specifically for you. Payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. $149. You can do that. Look what you're spending money on. Do it on your smile. Call or mention KFI or John, and you'll get that deal. Summer Smile Special. Payments as low as $149 a month. LastingSmiles.com. Call 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Partly cloudy tomorrow, high 60s to the mid 80s. This report brought to you by Aleve. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. It's slow on the 5 in Burbank.
So we'll start on the northbound side of the 5, and that's where traffic loads up, getting away from just about Hollywood Way, and it's a tough one all the way to the 14. On the southbound side of the 5, coming up on just about Olive, it looks like a crash is being cleared out of lanes, but delays are backing up away from San Fernando Road. Staying on that 5 southbound, you still have a tough drive ahead, leaving the 134 freeway all the way towards the 605. And the 57 freeway, it's filling in this afternoon, northbound out of Orange from what looks like Orangewood Avenue to the 91. More slowing ahead from Imperial Highway to the 60. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Don't let the June gloom fool you. Whether it's cool or hot, termites are still active. Droppings and discarded wings are signs of an infestation. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free inspection. Get our no tent, no move out treatment with a 2-year warranty. Call 800-PACIFIC. Some restrictions apply.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Heather Sparks, head of content at Zenith, the Publicist media agency, discusses the inherently human power of radio hosts.
I actually think DJs were the original influencers. You invited them into your home. You invited them into your ear. You built a relationship with them. You understood and trusted the things that were interesting to them. And yes, now that's got a full flywheel and it's very video-based and there's a lot of different types of influence. And so thinking about the plethora of content, human created versus not human created, I think as humans, we're always looking to feel something. And so I think human connection is never going to go away.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow, and all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you grow your business at the speed of sound today at 844-844-iHeart.
All right, let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until renewal. Well, your business runs all year round, and so do the gaps and the risk. That's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, HR manager, it can be really complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like Find Print Facts, which actually translates your current policy into plain English so you know what's covered and what's not. Plus, they have a business value calculator so you can get an idea of what your business is worth so you actually know what you need to protect it. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, Foodie Friday with Neil, and at 8:30 it is Ask Handel Anything, and this is all about you asking me. Without you, it doesn't work. That's coming up tomorrow morning on the next Bill Handel Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. Conway will be here in minutes, and we're live on YouTube, and then you could watch the whole thing recorded on YouTube, and then after that, just a few minutes after 6, the podcast, John Kobylt Show on demand. Oh, listen, earlier this hour, he had Adam Housley on, and he's had some exclusives on the Gavin and Jennifer investigation. He had some good stuff there that nobody else had. So you can listen to this hour on the podcast. Wallet Hub analyzed 148 of the biggest metropolitan areas in the country. This is a good one. Trying to determine how efficient the local governments are in each city. Quality of services score. 36 different metrics. 6 key areas: financial stability, education, health, safety, economy, infrastructure, pollution. So that's a lot of data points there, right? 36 metrics, 6 key areas. They added it all up, 148 cities. No California city came in the top 25. None. However, you look at the other end, bottom 15, 6 California cities Bottom 15. Worst run. Worst run city in the whole country? San Francisco. And they're on the rebound. There's an article. There's an article out every week on how there's a comeback. Well, worst run city. Progressives. Progressives are stupid people. They're destructive people. They have a psycho ideology. They're compelled to ruin good things. And it seems their followers go out and vote. Nobody else does. Let's see. So San Francisco is number 148, followed by Oakland at number 145. Well, Bay Area is a really pleasant place to live. 145. Fresno at 141. Long Beach at 140. Stockton at 137. And we're getting to it. Los Angeles at 136. So we have 6 of the bottom 13 cities in America. 6 of them. Los Angeles, there are 135 major cities, major metropolitan areas better run. And by the way, the rest of the California cities are doing poorly as well. Riverside, 131st. Sacramento, 128. San Jose, 127. Bakersfield, 125. Anaheim, 118. What is this? How could we have all our cities crammed down in the bottom 25? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the bottom 25? Make it 12. Santa Ana, 13. Modesto in the bottom 30. San Diego's 110th. The best city, the only city in the top half, Huntington Beach, number 38. That's it. And, of course, Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta, they sue Huntington Beach every 5 minutes. But, of course, they're the best-run city, major city in California. San Francisco was last in long-term outstanding debt, last in high school graduation rate. Huntington Beach was 4th for high school graduation. And Oakland was in last place for violent crime rate, down with Baltimore, Little Rock, Arkansas, Detroit, and Memphis. It's just what's wrong with these are elected officials. These are the choice of the people. Or maybe it's the choice of all the drug zombies and the homeless people. Maybe this is from all the ballot harvesting and the ballot stuffing. Maybe that's what's produced this. Maybe I ought to stop blaming all the normal people, although I still think there's more normal people than there are drug addicts and homeless zombies. I mean, that's just not possible. It's just statistically impossible. I mean, when you have 36 categories, that's a very well-balanced, detailed analysis. All right, we're done here. Let's see. Okay, Conway's up next. We got the podcast coming out in about 5-10 minutes, and YouTube will be recorded. That'll be available as well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Brigida D'Agostino is here. I got it right. And she's live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.